that plays Sallies, if you watch them, you know that 95% of the time they're going to run the ball, and 90% of those times it's going to be Andrew Watkins who's doing it, and he's still able to get through. Now, it's a testament to both the Sallies offensive line and to the shiftiness of Watkins, who's not a really big kid, but he's a strong runner. He's one of those guys that always seems to fall forward, one of those guys that never seems to get thrown backwards for a loss. You add in the fact that fullback Jesse Wheatley, who's added 230 yards on the ground, Liam Mara, who had a big touchdown last week against Westminster, has added a couple TDs on the season. And their one receiving threat really is Jack Healy. I always forget Jack. They don't pass enough that I remember the receivers' names. Jack Healy leads the team with 8 receptions and 1 touchdown, 5 receptions and 4 touchdowns. Gabe Puzangara has done a really nice job settling into the role of starting quarterback. They just don't ask him to do too much.
Alrighty, they're two dimensions on defense. You have to be able to stop the run. You have to be able to stop the pass. The South does one very well, struggles with the other.
They really do. Overall for the season, Salesianum is outscoring opponents 22-11. Anytime you're averaging just over 10 points a game, which I believe it's 10.9 for the Souths, you're doing a rock-solid job. They've played some good teams. Episcopal put the ball in the air quite a bit. The Souths were able to somewhat slow them down, but Episcopal reverted to their running game more often than not, and the Souths were able to close that down. Now, as far as this defense goes, you're right. One of the things that lends itself, they really got torched by Middletown. And one of the parts of that is when you don't throw the ball during the season and you're not practicing it, your defense doesn't get to see it very often. All of a sudden, Middletown throws receivers all over the pattern. It's very difficult to deal with.
All righty, we're going to take a quick break here from the national anthem. When we come back, we'll take a little bit closer look at the Smyrna Eagles. You're listening to the Fox Sports Game of the Week and watching it live on 302 Sports. So we just got the one more break then, right? Then we go.
No one burning your she shed, Cheryl.
Yeah, one more break.
All right. Because my she shed's burning up in the backyard. Your she shed was struck by lightning, Cheryl. Robert, the State Farm covered my she shed.
What's a she shed?
She turned our shed into a hideaway, Robert.
Oh, yeah, that's covered.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed. Can we stop this she shed now?
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm. Talk to an agent today.
American Spirit Federal Credit Union brings you Kasasa. What's Kasasa? It's an easy way to earn cash. No talent necessary. It's like a participation trophy that's actually worth something. You do everyday things, we reward you in cash each month. That's free Kasasa checking. As for Kasasa by name at American Spirit Federal Credit Union.
Incognito Productions is the premier sports filming company in Delaware. Shooting, editing, and creating sports films for teams and individuals. Incognito has you covered with recruitment and game films, plus team documentary style highlight films, licensed and insured. Incognito has been in business for over a decade, and will even customize scheduled posters like the one created for Fox Sports 12 team posters and more. Of Incognito Productions by heading to nknfilms.com today.
This is the Delaware High School Football Game of the Week, presented by the U.S. Air Force. You're listening to the Fox Sports Pregame Show on 1290 and iHeartRadio.
Welcome back to Charles V. Williams Stadium here on the Smyrna High campus. The turf field, fortunately, because the rain has started as they predicted. They've already played the national anthem. We're going to get set for the point toss here. We're going to take a closer look at Smyrna High. They've been coached by Mike Judy in his fifth year. He played center at Dover and also at Wesley College. You know, the quarterback situation here, they obviously lost Nolan Henderson 2 years ago, Isaiah Wilson last year, but they've replaced him with a guy who's got a bright future.
That's right. Aiden Sanchez has really stepped in the role and done a really nice job. As the last two quarterbacks, Nolan Henderson and Isaiah Wilson are both playing Division I football. Nolan Henderson, of course, at the University of Delaware. Isaiah Wilson at Norfolk State. Sanchez has not just done it against some of the easier teams. 11 touchdowns on the season, 5 interceptions against KP in a really good game, 12 of 13 with 4 touchdowns. Even in the loss against Dover, 324 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's a kid that can get the ball out. He's shown he can make some of the mid to long range throws. So definitely a lot of promise at that position for the next 2 years.
Unfortunately, the Eagles, Steve Whaley, running back, is out tonight, injured, as Debo Williams as well. So the tackler and the rusher are out for tonight's game. We don't have an update on whether either one of their injuries is here. The coin toss has just taken place. Smyrna has won the toss and elected to receive. They're going to be in the north end zone, and Salesian will be defending the south. We're going to take our last break. When we come back, it's kickoff between Salesianum and Smyrna here on 1290.
The U.S. Air Force wants you to know that...
Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees,
broadcast, and the 302 Sports crew is here with the audio live stream. Smyrna has won the toss. They're in their red jerseys, white pants, white helmets, playing the role of spoiler tonight as they come in with a 2-5 record and have been officially eliminated from the playoffs. Officially with Sussex Tech's win earlier today against Bali Tech. Sally's, on the other hand, at 6-2. They're battling for playoff position. They haven't clinched a spot yet, but a win tonight certainly would put them in the right direction. Patrick Duffy getting ready to kick off from his own 40-yard line. The kick is away, and it's going to go into the end zone, and it will be a touchback. So, Marty, a lot of people asked what you thought. You know, you got a 2-win team against a 6-win team. I told everybody I talked to, I still think this could be a solid game. I still think Smyrna is a tough team. They're not an easy out, despite what last week's 61-3 score told people.
I agreed. It might be a little back-to-the-future situation tonight for Smyrna, because if the fans look in the backfield, they're going to see a starting running back with number 25 named Knight, as Wayne Knight gets the start tonight in place of the injured Stephen Whaley. So good opportunity for a kid to make himself known against one of the better defenses around.
Aiden Sanchez, the sophomore quarterback, is in the shotgun position as Knight goes in motion, and it's going to be a quick out tonight. He's going to get it on the 20-yard line and work his way up to the 24-yard line. So a good pass, pick up a 4, going to bring up a 2nd and 6.
Smyrna runs that bubble screen probably more and better than anybody in the state. It's been one of the cornerstones of their offense over the last 3 seasons.
And they're going to mark it on the 25-yard line, so a pickup of 5 brings up a 2nd and 5 against Smyrna, moving right to left. They're on the left hash mark, 2 wide receivers out to the right, one right in front of us. That's Mekhi Jackson, and the give is going to be a fake tonight, and they're going to whip it out to Eamon Roberts, the first-team All-State wide receiver, and he gets dragged and thrown out of bounds on the far side by Dalton McNabb of Sally's. McNabb comes in with 41 tackles, second only to Colin Fowler for Sal's. Is going to bring up a 3rd down and 2.
And Sally's doing a nice job getting guys out, defensive backs that usually have to pack it in against Smyrna, but a little less responsible respect for the running game with Stephen Whaley out tonight.
4 wide receivers out to the left this time. Knight goes in motion. He's going to stop on the left hip of Sanchez, and it's going to be another fake and another bubble screen out. This time the pass is to Devin Smith, and he is taken down immediately by Jack Haley, the big tight end, defensive back or I should say defensive lineman, and so it's going to bring up a 4th down, and the punting unit comes on.
And a rare miss on the outside there by Eamon Roberts, who had an opportunity to block his man, but totally whiffed on it. As everyone knows, the bubble screen is contingent upon those receivers at least getting their body on a man, giving the receiver who catches the ball enough time to make his way through that crowd.
Anthony Buscemi averages 33 yards a punt. He's standing on his own 9-yard line. There's rain out there. Doesn't look like a lot of wind. Looking for a flag. The flags are not blowing that much. Ferries is back for Sally's on his own 38-yard line. He's going to take it on the 47. Has a lane up the left seam. 20, 10, and touchdown. A 53-yard touchdown return on the punt by Ferries, and just like that, Sally's is up 6-0.
Fantastic job by Ferries. Buscemi has one of the strongest legs in the state, but that time it was a line drive punt, and it got to Ferries on the run before the Smyrna wedge was even able to set up, or the Sally's wedge, excuse me. No one was able to get in any kind of position. By the time they did, Ferries had already gone half past everyone else out there, only had to maneuver around Buscemi himself to get in for the score.
David Harris will have the hold. Patrick Duffy on to attempt the extra point for Sally's to try to extend this lead to 7-0, just under 2 minutes into this game. Hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So with 9:56 to play, Salesianum has struck first and struck quickly. It's 7-0. We'll be right back after this.
And began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs.
The rain is coming down at Charles V. Williams Stadium. They went 3 and out, the Eagles did, and Buscemi's punt was returned 53 yards by Ferries for a touchdown. Duffy's extra point made it 7-0. Duffy getting ready to kick off now. Devin Smith is back along with Wayne Knight. And yes, that is the younger brother of Wayne Knight. And this one, like the first one, is going right out of the back of the end zone. And Smyrna is going to start at their own 20-yard line.
And Smyrna, they're desperate to get something started. Last week, they struggled all night long against a Sussex Tech defense that really hadn't impressed a ton of people up to that point. They're facing a much more stout defense tonight. You've already seen them try to get outside Salesianum with those bubble screens. They're going to have to run the ball up the middle sometimes just to loosen that up a bit. Sally's is really spread out defensively, which is allowing them to keep a closer eye on the receivers.
And Sanchez is talking to the official. The ball is lined up on the right hash mark as it was for their first play when it was a touchback last time. And I guess Coach Mike Judy said, you know, ask the refs to put it in the middle, and that's exactly what they did. Not sure why the refs lined it up on the right hash mark to begin with. I thought it always went right back to the middle. But either way, Sanchez, the sophomore quarterback, in the shotgun position. 3 wide receivers to the left, 5 total. Sanchez drops back. He's looking over the middle, and Healy jumps in front of Knight and knocks it away. Otherwise, that could have been 6. A great play by the big linebacker. 6'1", 200 pounds. I guarantee you he's bigger than that.
That's right. That's a great job by Healy to get out there and knock that down with his arm. Sanchez would probably like to have that back. He needed to lead the receiver a little bit further. The receiver had to slow down a bit, Wayne Knight, as he came across the middle. Again, Wayne Knight's not a kid that starts all the time. He doesn't play a ton in this offense. Doesn't have a ton of carries. He's got about a little over 150 yards rushing on the season.
He's, of course, in for the injured Stephen Whaley, who will not see action tonight. He's not even dressed. Handoff is to Knight this time. Knight up the middle, breaks the first tackle across the 30, and then dragged down from behind by the captain Brendan Pacheco, but not until he gets to the 33-yard line, picks up Smyrna's first down.
You know, that play by Pacheco is bigger than it looks because Knight looked like he might have been off to the races. I've seen him once he gets into the open field, and he's got some really good jets like his brother did. So good job by Pacheco, but a great job by the Smyrna offensive line to open something up in the middle of the field.
Officially, we're going to call Ferry's punt return for a touchdown. 52 yards is the official yardage. 52 yards. First down, and it's a quick out to Devin Smith. He gets it at the 32-yard line, and a late flag coming in. I think that's going to be a helmet to the body, and if so, it's going to be a first down. Right now, the ball is being marked at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, it's either going to be that or a face mask calling Salesianum. Either way, this is going to add 15 yards to Smyrna's tally. One of the things you're starting to see from a lot of defenses, Sussex Central did it a couple weeks ago. It is a face mask call on Sally's. We see Sally's doing it tonight. Everybody has seen these plays for 3 years on tape, these bubble screens, these quick out throws. They've all caught onto it, and Smyrna doesn't have the same level of athletes they did for those 3 years. So you're seeing teams with a little more, again, not showing as much respect to the inside middle game, being able to gang up on the receivers.
Moves the ball up to the 42-yard line, and it's going to be first down and 1. Sanchez, second and 1, correction, and a fumble by Knight on the handoff. Looks like he might have fallen on top of it. No, coming up with it is the captain for Sally's, Brendan Pacheco, and so a mistake by freshman Wade Knight turns the ball right back over to Salesianum.
Yeah, it looks like Wayne Knight never actually got that clean. Whether the handoff from Sanchez was a little high or a little low, it just looked like he never got a full handle on it. And again, Pacheco coming up with 2 big defensive plays on that one. He stopped Knight from what looked like to be a really long gain early in the possession, then comes up with the fumble recovery.
And so Sally's has the ball on the Smyrna 44-yard line. Pro-style formation, we're going to see our first glimpse of Gabe Puzingara. Bushweller's going in motion from right to left, and the give is going to be to Watkins, the St. Mark's transfer. He spins out of a couple tackles and gets stopped at the 40-yard line and pick up a 4, going to bring up a 2nd and 6.
That's what you love about Watkins. He's just one of those kids. He never seems to go down on the first hit. As I said, he's always falling forward. Just a real tough kid. Runs low to the ground, protects the ball, does a really nice job of, he does not cough up the football very often. That time spun off the tackle. Nice little gain on first down to set up a 2nd and 7.
It is Watkins and Liam Mara. Mara is the up back this time. Bushweller is going to go in motion again from right to left, and the give is going to be to the up back Mara, and he bursts forward. I think he's going to be just shy of the first down as he breaks across the 35-yard line, going to bring up a 3rd and 1.
Liam Mara's a kid they've really started to get more and more involved in the offense as the season has worn on. He only has 36 carries. That's his 37th carry on the season. It's 3rd on the team behind Watkins and Wheatley, but as he showed in the Westminster game last week, he can really do some damage. He lowers that shoulder. He can be a punishing runner, but once he gets in the open field, he has some nice jets.
I formation again, and Mara this time is the up back again, and Puzingara instead is going to keep it, and he bursts forward over his right tackle and picks up the necessary yardage for the first down. The ball's going to be marked at on about the 32-yard line, first down.
Smyrna looked like they only had 3 defensive linemen there. There were huge gaps in between, so whether that was called on the sideline or Puzingara decided to do that himself, it was a nice call by Salesianum as it was wide open for the first down.
7:41 to play here. Sally's with a 7-0 lead, moving left to right, trying to put together another drive here. The handoff is to Watkins, the fullback, and he's going to get over the 30-yard line, going to be just shy of the 29, going to bring up a 2nd down, and we'll call it 7.
And Elijah Statham, the freshman defensive lineman, a nice job getting penetration on his man and wrapping up Watkins before he could gain any momentum there. So, again, bringing up about a 2nd and 6 situation for Salesianum.
You know, we talk about Sally's being a one-dimensional team, but over the years it's worked very well. And so far, in this drive at least, is working well again. Pro-style formation, the one wide receiver is Sean Regan. Mara is the up back. Bushweller going in motion, actually just stops, and he's going to block for Watkins, and Watkins bursts up, breaks a couple of tackles, gets into the red zone, going to be down at the 18-yard line, another first down for Sally's.
And Watkins appears to have mastered that spin move. I saw him do it a couple times last year with St. Mark's, but he seems to position his body so he never also absorbs the big hit. That time they looked like they were going to have him wrapped up. He spun out at the last second, ends up with a nice big gain to set up a first and down situation inside the red zone zone for Salesianum.
Already almost halfway through this first quarter. It's been a quick one. A lot of running plays for Sallies, and although Smyrna's done a lot of passing, they've made the passes, but the runners have stayed inbounds, so the clock has kept ticking. Gives to Mara up the middle, and he gets brought down after crossing the 20-yard line. Tackle made by Mason Wilson, the junior linebacker, his 24th tackle of the season. Going to bring up a second down, and it looks like about 5.
This offense for Sallies does a couple things, too. One, it keeps a potent Smyrna offense off of the field. It chews up the clock. It also has the twin role of demoralizing a team as you get chunk after chunk of yards while also wearing that defensive unit down. The Smyrna defense has been out for a relatively short drive for a pretty long time.
I formation again. Sean Regan, the right back. It's on the right, or I'm sorry, the right receiver. It's on the right hash mark. Bushweller goes in motion from right to left, and it's going to be, no, the give is to Watkins. He's trying to get around the left side. He's across the 10, across the 5, knocked out at the 3-yard line, so a first down and goal from the 3 there. Nice tackle by Gavin Sembley to prevent the touchdown, at least for now.
And that time he put the moves, did the right back on Thomas Smith. A really nice job there by Andrew Watkins. He kind of stutter-stepped and enabled him to get around Smith to pick up a first, give Sallies a first and goal situation.
So first and goal, the ball's on the left hash mark this time. Pusengara in, he'll be under center. And it looks like kind of a wishbone formation with Mara right behind him. And Pusengara didn't like something he saw. He's going to take a timeout. We're going to take it with him. This is the game of the week. 5:37 to play here in the first quarter. Sallies with a 7-0 lead. Looks like they're getting ready to punch it in again. We'll be right back.
As a military wife, I love helping our airmen and their families with financial tools to help provide financial stability.
I promise to make a positive difference in your financial life, from helping you to lower your payments to discovering ways to help you save for your children's future.
From the needs of college students and first-time auto buyers, I promise to identify and take ownership of your needs.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
As a military wife, I love helping our airmen and their families with financial tools to help provide financial stability.
I promise to make a positive difference in your financial life, from helping you to lower your payments to discovering ways to help.
A big thanks to our partner, NKN Films, for their outstanding design on our 2018 high school football poster. You can see it at the Fox Sports 1290am.com website. Visit nknfilms.com for all your video needs. First and goal from the 3-yard line, moving left to right. The give is over the right tackle, waiting for the signal. No signal yet. Looks like it's going to be just short. Can't get much shorter than that. On the carry was Jesse Wheatley, the senior fullback there, his first carry of the night. Sallies thought it was in, but the guys in the stripes didn't, and that's all that matters. Going to bring up a second and goal from less than a yard out.
It's just Smyrna doesn't have an answer right now for Salesian, and they're not able to stop them behind the line of scrimmage at all. This has the feel of one of those just any minute now.
And there's the minute as Watkins basically just steps into the end zone for the touchdown. So the St. Mark's transfer with his 15th touchdown of the season puts Sallies up 13-0. Patrick Duffy coming on for the extra point.
Really great job by the Salesianum offense. This is when they are at their best. This is what you see. You see 4 or 5 yards at a time. You see them going over the left, over the right. They mix in an outside run every now and then, but mostly it's that big, talented offensive line just bullying their way through opponents.
David Harris will have the hold right on the 10-yard line. Duffy on trying to connect for his second extra point of the night. The snap is back, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it is onto the roof of the concession stand, and it is good. So with 5:03 to play, Sallies has a 14-0 lead over Smyrna. We'll be back right after this.
No matter where you are in life, at every stage, we are here for you, for all of life's big moments, and everything in between. After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
No matter where you are in life, at every stage, we are here for you, for all of life's big moments, and everything in between.
Domino's.com for details on Domino's Hotspots. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. 5:03 left to play here in the first quarter. Sally's has had the ball twice and scored twice. They lead Smyrna 14-0. The rain has stopped, at least for now, but a lot more is expected. We'll see if that plays into the game later on. Patrick Duffy's kick is away, and for the third time in a row, it is heading out of the back of the end zone. So Smyrna, for the third time in a row, will start at their own 20-yard line.
Got to give Patrick Duffy a shout-out here. Yeah, for the third time, he's booted that, as you said, through the back of the end zone. You don't see that very often in Delaware high school sports. So Duffy, a really strong leg. Both kickers with strong legs, something with Duffy and Buscemi. We're in a situation now for Smyrna. They've got to control the ball for a little bit. They're not a ball control offense. They're a team that likes quick strike. At this point, I think they'd take anything. They've tried the bubble screens. They've tried the little outs. They haven't worked. They did have some openings over the middle. They just weren't able to connect with Knight.
Moving right to left, this time they have put the ball in the right hash mark. They've done it once that way and put it in the center and the other on the touchback. And it's going to be a fake tonight, and it's going to be a quick out to Devin Smith, and he's going to get to about the 23-yard line before he is taken down by Rasheen Kalk and a host of other Sals.
That's not an easy throw for the sophomore to make. He's making it from the right hash all the way to the left hash as an out. It's a bubble screen, and by the time they get over there, so Salesianum defense has 4 or 5 guys already ready to bust through the receivers. They just don't have enough receivers out there to block this Smyrna. Sally's just eating that play alive.
Now they're on the left hash mark, moving right to left. Williams is by him, or Smith, excuse me, is right here in front of us, and it's going to be a give tonight, and he's going to work his way around the long side of the field over to the right. He's going to pick up a first down, run out of bounds by the defense at the 33-yard line, going to bring up a first down.
And if you're Smyrna, that's exactly what you're looking for. They've been trying in this first quarter to get the ball outside, because the one thing that Smyrna seems to always have over Sally's is speed, and they probably have it again this year, judging from what we've seen of Sally's defense. So if they can get guys in one-on-one situations, that's what they're looking for.
And now it looks like they're lined up in that earthquake formation, as we've seen several times here, and it looks like Knight in for the injured Whaley is going to get the ball. He gets it, and he keeps it. He bounces away from one tackle across the 35, across the 40, still on his feet, down at the 44. And if you didn't know it, number 25 looks like the same 25 we've last for the last several years.
He really does. I mean, what we got used to seeing for the Will Knight years was that earthquake formation and all these huge linemen on both sides of the ball, and all of a sudden short Will Knight would burst through one of those seams. We're seeing that. We just saw that from Wayne Knight. It'd be interesting to see if they can duplicate that throughout the night.
And he again is in there on the earthquake formation. Marcus Kajust is behind him, or actually should say on his right hip. And it's a fake to Kajust, and Knight is going to keep it himself. He works around the right side, and he's going to get across the 45. Looks like he's going to be down at the 47-yard line, going to bring up a second down and 7.
And the Sally's defense twice now has actually gone for the fake to Kajust, which I don't understand, because Kajust has not been a big part of this offense for Smyrna, and you have to figure that Wayne Knight's going to get the ball. I'm sure that's something they're going to talk about defensively on the Sally side.
Sanchez back in. They ended up marking on the 46-yard line, so it's going to be a second down and 8. Sanchez is back in the pistol formation. Knight is on his left hip. 2 wide receivers out here to the left. It's Devin Smith and Mekhi Jackson on the long side of the field. Ball's lined up on the right hash mark, moving right to left. Smyrna in the red jerseys, white pants and the white helmet. Sanchez rolls out to the left, looking over the middle, fires, has his man, Eamon Robertson, the first-team All-State wide receiver, drops the ball. So that's one that Roberts should tell you he should have had.
Not a great night for Roberts so far. He whiffed on a block on a bubble screen earlier. He dropped a surefire first down on that one, a well-thrown ball for Sanchez. You wonder if maybe there's some slickness with the ball out there, but as you said, Sanchez will be the first one. Excuse me, the receiver will be the first one. Eamon Roberts, excuse me, will be the first one to say he should have caught that.
And so on the right now is Ron Jackson on the far side with Roberts. And then here next to us, right in front of the press box, is Mekhi Jackson and Devin Smith. Sanchez in the backfield by himself, Knight in the slot. And it's a quick out. Eamon Roberts reaches out and catches this one, but he's tackled down immediately. In on the tackle there was Dalton McNabb, made the first contact. Pickup of 5, though, but it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Looked like there was a little confusion there. Eamon Roberts stopped like he thought he was supposed to get a quick pop pass, and then he'd take off downfield. Sanchez ended up throwing it over his far shoulder, which caused Eamon Roberts to slow down and move out to the right, and Sally's was able to catch up and stop that before they got a first down.
No surprise here, they're going for it. They've become well known for that. 2:32 to play. They trail 14-0. They're in the earthquake formation. and that is going to be Knight who's going to take the snap. Cajuste is off of his left hip, trying to get him to jump off sides. If they're able to do that, and it will become a first down. Mike Judy is going to take a timeout, and they're going to talk about it. We're going to keep it right here. That's Smyrna's first timeout. Tonight's broadcast is presented by the United States Air Force. The U.S. Air Force wants you to know there's a new recruiter in your area, Tech Sergeant Andrew Bugg, and his office is located on the riverfront in Wilmington. Stop by and find out about the exciting opportunities waiting for you in today's Air Force. So an interesting call here. Not surprised they went for it. They tried to get him to jump off sides. It'll be interesting to see if they still go for it when they come out of this huddle.
I agree. It's also interesting as far as how the talent has changed for Smyrna over the years. 2 years ago, they don't attempt to draw anybody off sides. They drill that ball down your throat after about 2 seconds have elapsed on the play clock. They just knew they were better, stronger, and faster than everybody else out there. They're in a new reality now where they're dealing with a younger lineup, guys they're still trying to develop, so not necessarily a surefire thing anymore when you line up in the earthquake and you have a good 4 yards to go.
Well, and not that they ever did, but that lineup of the previous years wouldn't have mattered if they were down 14-0. They wouldn't care. They were
Well,
such
deep in
quick,
their own
straight
territory,
offense.
exactly.
Right.
They didn't care where they gave the ball to the opponent. As you said, with Nolan Henderson and some of the receivers, they had Dante Ritchie, they had Eamon Roberts still back then. They could do so many different things, and they were such a quick strike offense.
And so the crowd here is excited that they're going for it. Decent crowd, not a big crowd for Smyrna. Usually it's packed here no matter who they're playing and what the conditions are, but with the rain expected, much smaller crowd. We hope they're tuned in at home. And the give is going to be to Roberts, which nobody expected, and he's got the first down over the 45 to the 44-yard line. I like that play call.
Really well-designed play, too, with Eamon Roberts coming from the slot position and taking the handoff, going from east to west there and doing a really nice job of picking up the first down. Offensive line, great job of blocking there, just enough to keep this drive going for Smyrna.
And so it's a first down in Sal's territory for the first time tonight, the 44-yard line. Sanchez is in the backfield. Knight is in, as well as Devin Smith now lined up in the backfield as well. Ron Jackson is lined up on the wide receiver. A little confusion
here.
Yeah. Mike Judy might think about taking a timeout. He's kind of keeping an eye on the back judge here, waiting for his hand to go up. Sanchez now seems to be set.
And he did call the timeout. Yeah, he saw the clock start to, or the referees start to make the count there. All kinds of confusion in the defensive backfield for Smyrna. So now, not a bad timeout, although you never want to burn 2 timeouts in the first quarter.
No, and remember, Smyrna tonight is they're learning for the future, basically. They're not going to make the playoffs. It was official, pretty much coming in, and then the Sussex Tech win officially eliminated Smyrna from the best that we can understand from the playoffs. And so Mike Judy is trying to get this group of players not only to finish the season strong with 2 wins, but starting to look ahead at next year as well. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 313, and the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, energizing Delaware with their highly skilled electricians partnered with Signature Contractors. Local 313 electricians will safely get your job done right on time and within budget. Visit IBEW313.org. First and 10, ball on the Sally's 44-yard line. Smyrna moving right to left in the red jerseys, white pants, and the white helmet. And they're ready to go. It's just the officials that are discussing something. Not sure what that is, but whatever it is over. Sanchez is in the shotgun position, and Eamon Roberts is to his right. Wade Knight is behind him. And it's a low snap, picked up nicely, and it's a quick out to Eamon Roberts, the first-team All-State wide receiver, and he gets to the 30-yard line before Healy drags him down, so another first down for Smyrna.
Another really well-designed play. Smyrna had most of their receivers on the far side of the field. They all streaked down the field at the snap. So that's kind of Eamon Roberts just standing here in no man's land. They got a quick pass out to him. Again, that's what they're looking for, that one-on-one situation. Mike Judy always believes the faith in his athletes that if they're put in one-on-one situations, they'll get it done. And here, unfortunately, one of the bigger plays for Smyrna is going to come back due to a penalty. It looks like a holding penalty.
Yeah, it was a holding penalty. It must have been a late flag that came in. I didn't even see a flag get picked up.
I didn't either.
But it did, and it's going to move it back to the 49-yard line, and so it'll be a first down and 15. They're on the left hash mark. Sanchez is in the shotgun formation. Pair of wide receivers on each side of him. Wade Knight lined up on his left hip. 1:16 to play here in the first quarter. Sally's with a 14-0 lead. The snap is back. Sanchez looking over the middle, and it's incomplete and deflected away there by Rasheen Kalk. They were trying to get it out to Devin Smith, and Kalk made a nice diving deflection.
He really did, because that ball was really well thrown by Sanchez. Kalk with a really nice job there. Kalk was a name we called a number of times in Salesiano's basketball season last year, making his presence known on the defensive side of the ball. Sally's playing a cover 2 defense, doing a really nice job keeping the middle of that field as clogged as they can.
2 wide receivers right in front of us to Sanchez's left. 5 total, 3 on the right. Knight is close to the slot position. Sanchez is in the shotgun. He's back and he flies, throws it out to the side to Devin Smith. Incomplete. Healy on the coverage, going to bring up a 3rd and 15.
That time Sanchez missed it. Mekhi Jackson put a little move on his man, and if Aiden would have pump faked even one time, Mekhi Jackson was streaking on a post route toward the end zone. But again, a young quarterback, he's learning. I'm sure they get him in the film room every week and go over all of this.
Normally I'd say this is 2 down territory, 3rd and 15 on the Sally's 49, but not sure with this young group of kids. The snap is back. Sanchez is rolling to his right, looking, fires, and almost picked off. Devin Smith made a valiant effort to go up and get it. Nice coverage there by Brendan Pacheco, among others, and that will bring up the 4th down.
And there's actually going to be another holding call. Colin Fowler for Salesianum, the 6'1", 205-pound senior, came blasting through the line, and one of the linemen just grabbed him and spun him around. Which brought the flag out, kind of negated that entire play. I'm guessing, yes, Sally's is going to decline that, bring up a 4th and 15, which, again, for this young Smyrna offense is just too big of ask at midfield, so they'll punt this away.
And Buscemi will be in to punt the ball again. He comes in averaging 33 yards on a punt. It was his low punt that Ferries returned 52 yards for a touchdown. Just 2 minutes into the game, Ferries is back on his 12-yard line, shuffling some blockers around in front of him. Buscemi's got the ball, and he rolls out to his right, sort of a rugby kick, partially blocked there, and the ball's going to go out of bounds at about the 49-yard lines. That was David Harris that got his hands on the ball, so not sure what Buscemi, I know what he was trying to do there, but it didn't work.
I think he did it on his own, though, because the blockers were pushing the Salesianum blockers that way. They were opening up the middle of the field. So what happened is they actually ended up throwing the Salesianum player into Buscemi, and yeah, just a disaster of a punting game so far tonight for Smyrna. They've had one return for a touchdown, and they won that probably, I don't know if that officially made it past the line of scrimmage. It looks like it may have gone backwards 1 or 2, which would mean it's a blocked punt for Salesianum.
And so Sally's with 55.9 seconds left to play here in the first quarter and a 14-0 lead. They're going to move left to right, and the all-whites and the gold helmets, they're on the left hash mark, and the handoff is going to be, no, it's a fake to Watkins, a play-action pass. Puzangara rolls out to the right. He gets across the 45, 40, and depending on where they mark, he's going to have a 1st down, and he was dragged out of bounds there by Demetrius Buckner, the senior defensive lineman, his 26th tackle of the night, and so the clock is stopped with 45 seconds. It is a 1st down on the 40-yard line.
That was a great job by Puzangara. They were looking for Logan Bushweiler. They were hoping the play action would leave him running alone on the right side here. But as soon as Puzangara saw that he had drawn double coverage, he immediately tucked the ball and ran, picked up the 1st down. That's one of those things. He's a smart kid, a junior, 5'11", 195-pounder.
Jesse Wheatley, the up back. Watkins is the fullback. He's going to get it. Bounces over to the left, escapes one tackle, can't escape the second. Gavin Assembly in on the tackle and drives him back. They're going to mark it at about the 44-yard line, so it'll be a loss of 4 and bring up a 2nd down. Clock is running 30 seconds. That might have been the last play of the first quarter.
And a terrific job by Gavin Assembly, as you said. He wrapped him up and held him, was waiting for the other tacklers, because again, Watkins never seems to go down with the first tackler. That time Assembly was able to hold him up enough to wait for the other tacklers to make their way in, and that should mark the end of the first quarter, as you said.
10 seconds to play. Sally's doesn't seem in any rush here. Again, wind is not a factor right now, and sure enough, Sally's is going to let the clock run out. We've come to the end of the first quarter here. Salesianum with the ball and a 14-0 lead over Smyrna. You're listening to the Fox Sports 1290 Game of the Week on iHeartRadio, presented by the U.S. Air Force, and watching it live on 302 Sports.
After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
Hi, Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley. Cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lewis, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
For trophies, plaques, medals, and so much more, Crown Trophy People's Plaza is a proud supporter of the Fox Sports 1290 Game of the Week and home of the Delaware State Championship Trophy and Mini Trophy. Visit Crown Trophy in People's Plaza, Newark, or online at crowntrophy.com. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan here on Fox Sports 1290 and 302 Sports Live. Sally's starting the second quarter with the ball, and a 14-0 lead is going to be 2nd and 13 with the ball on the Smyrna 43-yard line. Puzangara is under center in the pro-style formation. 2 wide receivers out to the left, and it's Bushweller, the senior captain, who goes off sides, and so it's going to add an additional 5 yards and be a 2nd and 18.
The old sort of ballerina tap dancing there as he went up on his toes and did everything he could to avoid falling forward, but the snap just didn't come fast enough to save Bushweller. So, as you said, 2nd and 18, a long for Salesianum offense, which is not built to deal with 2nd and 3rd and long situations.
Puzangara under center, I formation, 2 wide receivers out to the left. He gives it to Watkins, and he's going to try to get some of that back, but Demetrius Buckner makes sure he doesn't even get back to the last line of scrimmage, let alone the original line of scrimmage, a pickup of just 2 to the 46-yard line.
Buckner and the rest of the Smyrna defense did a really nice job of shedding their tackles at the point of contact to wrap up Watkins there. I'm guessing there was a little talk of some pride on the sidelines, as no one wants to see on Smyrna's side, see Sally's just run the ball down their throats, which is all it has been up until this drive.
And so Sally's has a 3rd and 16, the ball in the Smyrna 46-yard line, I formation. 1 wide receiver out on each side. Play action pass. Puzangara rolls around to the right and fires back. Healy makes a diving attempt, incomplete, and so it's going to bring up a 4th down.
And he had Healy wide open across the middle. He actually had 2 receivers. He had Jesse Wheatley also wide open when he faked the handoff, but just wasn't able to get the ball out of his hand. It looked like he continued on toward the sideline. So a nice job with Smyrna defense. Probably more a missed opportunity for Sally's, as they should have converted there, but a nice job forcing the punt for the Smyrna defense.
Crowd gives the defense a nice round of applause as they come off the field. It seems like they've been on the field for much of the night.
Does.
Patrick Duffy is back at his own 40-yard line. Knight and Eamon Roberts are on their own 10 to receive the punt. Even if Healy had caught the ball, it would have been a 4th down, but a 4th and manageable, they might have gone for it.
You're right. That was 4th and much longer than I remember.
And the punt hits the back of a Smyrna player, and fortunately for them, balling on the ball there was a Smyrna player. That was Andrew Whitlock, and so it was just one of those things. It hit the helmet of one of the Smyrna defenders going down for coverage and could have been a disaster, but fortunately for Smyrna, they got the ball back, and they're going to have it on their own 19-yard line.
Smyrna finally gets something to go their way in the punt game, although it comes on Salesianum's punt where they get the break. The Salesianum players, I don't think, noticed it quick enough because none of them went for the ball, whereas Smyrna, Whitlock jumped right on it.
And so 1st and 10, ball on the 19-yard line. Smyrna moving left to right. They've got the ball on the left hash mark. The give is to Knight, and Knight is bursting up the middle across the 30, trying to run over a Sally's defender, but Rasheen Clark will have nothing of it and takes him down, but not until Knight picks up a 1st down all the way to the 34-yard line.
Smyrna got outstanding blocks from the right side of their offensive line. Just an amazing job of pushing the Sally's defenders and sealing off that end, and then Wayne Knight with his speed immediately cut on the outside shoulder of the tackle, picked up the big gain.
3 wide receivers out to the left. 1 right in front of us here is Ron Jackson. Ball is lined up right between the hash mark. It's a quick out to Knight, and he dances around one defender, gets driven out of bounds at the 36-yard line, and so a pickup of about 2 yards.
I think one of the things we're seeing, John, even though it was only a 2-yard gain, is the quickness, elusiveness of Wayne Knight, and he's really got some quick feet. So, again, he's only a freshman. They've got a younger brother who's an 8th grader at this point who will be up next year, so the Knight family name will continue to live here. It looks like he's going to be a good one in the backfield.
That's what we've heard, that the genetic pool has worked in the Knight family. Of course, Will Knight playing at Old Dominion had his first touchdown, I believe, a couple
Yes,
weeks
he did.
ago. And to give us the Knight again across the 40 to the 43-yard line is where they're going to mark it. So another good carry by Knight.
And a great job again inside. The Smyrna offensive line just really leveling into their men, pushing the Salesianum defensive line backwards about the third time on this drive. So they're really starting to exert themselves. And Knight, it looks like you give him a little bit of room, he can break it.
He's on the left hip of Sanchez, just 3rd and 1. We'll see if he gets the ball with an opportunity to pick up the first down. And the give is tonight. He's going to work his way around the right side. Has the first down, trying to get across midfield. Now does, and gets pushed out of bounds. Pushing him out of bounds was Dalton McNabb. So another first down for the Smyrna Eagles, and their Smyrna offense that we've known has come to life.
That's right, and that time they tried to run behind Salim Wormley, the right tackle, but the Salesian defender opposite him cut inside of Wormley. He wanted no parts of the big guy, and he actually ran himself out of the play, which gave Knight a huge hole to run around on the right side.
1st and 10 on the 48, moving left to right, earthquake formation. And it's going to be Knight who is going to be under center. You speak of Wormley. He's back after missing a couple games with injury. He'll be heading to Penn State to play on Saturdays next fall. The snap is back, and Knight is going to keep it. A flag has been thrown. We'll see what that's all about. Knight works his way up to the 43-yard line before he is brought down by Colin Fowler along with Thomas Gavalucci.
I apologize, John. You know what it is? It's going to be a chop block, and this is one thing. They get called for this more than any team in the state, and it's because everyone is in such close quarters. You have all these guys, and what happens is one of the guys goes low to take out the defender. The other guy blocks him up high. You can't do that, but what happens is I don't think they realize they're doing it. Everyone is just packed into such close quarters. They were called for it, I believe, 3 times against Sussex Central. They're called for it the first time tonight. It's one of those minuses of the earthquake system, and something it's really been an issue for a couple of years.
And so it's going to take them all the way back to the 38-yard line. So a costly penalty is going to bring up a first down and forever. And it's going to bring Sanchez back up onto the field. 1st and 24 officially. 3 wide receivers to the left, 5 total. Sanchez is in the backfield by himself in a clear passing situation. Instead, he's going to keep it on the quarterback keeper across the 45 to the 50. Has some daylight, and a nice tackle there by James Johnson. May have prevented a touchdown, but either way, he got almost back all the yardage that they needed. Still going to have about 4 yards to go, but a 20-yard pickup on the run.
Sanchez, a terrific job. He read the defensive end, Brandon Pacheco, who came off the blitz, and he just ran right past Aiden Sanchez. Sanchez able to get the big gain, so great job reading the defense by the sophomore quarterback.
And so it's going to be a 2nd and 5. They're on the right hash mark. Sanchez has 2 backs with him. That's Knight and Eamon Roberts, 2 wide receivers out to the left. And it's Ron Jackson to our right. It's a quick out and a nice catch by Smith. Avoids the one tackler to the 30, to the 20. 1 man to beat, and he's in for the score. Touchdown of 43 yards for Devin Smith, his 2nd touchdown of the season.
Now, how much did that remind you of the Smyrna we've seen the last 3 years? They get a quick out, they get a receiver in a one-on-one position, and you know exactly what I was talking about earlier. The running game has forced Sally's to pack more guys into the middle of the field. Now you have the receivers more in one-on-one situations. That time, Devin Smith took that catch. The defensive back had him lined up perfectly, but dove right past him, and then Smith just turned on the jets to the end zone. So a terrific job by the Smyrna offense there, looking like the Smyrna of old.
And so with 8:35 to play, they've pulled within 14-6. They've got their 2-point conversion earthquake formation in. Knight is going to take the snap when it happens. Now he looks over. Looks like they might be changing. I don't think they're changing anything. I just think they're trying to create confusion when they do this. Also in the backfield is Marcus Kajust. He would be the other one to get it. Instead, Knight keeps it. He kind of works his way in and touchdown like his brother did 52 times one year. The 2-point conversion by Wade Knight makes it 14-8 with 8:35 to play here in the first half. Sally still leads, but Smyrna strikes. We'll be right back.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvement's pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust. Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company.
Where Smyrna has gotten on the scoreboard on a 43-yard catch and run into the end zone by Devin Smith. 14-8, 8:35 to play here in the second quarter. Anthony Buscemi ready to kick off left to right. He's kicked off 12 times and has 9 touchbacks, and this one looks like it's going to be number 10. Actually almost goes through the field goal out the back of the end zone, and so Sally's is going to start at their own 20-yard line. So I think Smyrna did what Smyrna's done best in years to come. We'll see if that helps them spark this defense now that they're back on the field.
You're right. That was an absolute clinic run by Smyrna circa 2015 to 2017, that offensive drive. And you look at the guys who factored into that. Sanchez, the sophomore, Wayne Knight, the freshman, Devin Smith, the sophomore. So all of this youth coming together here, and even if it's for just the one drive at this point, you're right, it puts a spark in this team that we know plays with a lot of pride. Smyrna does. Judy does a great job of motivating. Be curious to see how the defense responds.
The drive was 7 plays, 21 yards. Again, Devin Smith with a 43-yard catch into the end zone. The give is up the middle. It looks like it was Watkins, and he's going to get driven back after picking up maybe 2 yards up to the 22-yard line.
And you see all of a sudden, to your point, John, it looks like the defense is fired up in there. They were on the last possession as well when they forced our Sallies into a 4th and long and forced the Sal's to punt. So the Smyrna defense starting to step up a little bit. You know, last week had to be tough when they sat down to watch the film, giving up 61 points. They'd given up 46 points to Dover before that. 31 points to Sussex Central, so you know they're looking to get back into a groove.
And so it is 2nd and 8 on the 22-yard line. Sally's in the all-whites and the gold helmets moving right to left, and it's going to be a little quick handoff up the middle to Watkins, and he gets stopped after picking up about a yard, going to bring up a 3rd and 7.
That time trying to catch them off guard by using Watkins as the fullback in that setup. Everyone had been keyed on him in the halfback position. They tried to just do a little, as you said, a quick snap and a handoff up the middle. But again, that Smyrna defense just boning up and not letting anything get through the middle of that defense. Be interesting to see, you know, again, Sal's does not like to throw the ball. They can, but if they get forced into it, it's definitely in Smyrna's favor.
And so it is 3rd and 7 on the 23-yard line. It's a little pitch around the left. That's Watkins again. He keeps getting pushed out and out and out. He's going to get finally pushed out of bounds by Ryan McFarlane, the junior defensive back. So it's going to be a 3 and out here, barring something happening on this punt.
And I mentioned earlier, that's exactly what Smyrna, their defense, want to see. They have the speed advantage to the corners on both sides of the ball. The longer they can string Andrew Watkins out, he went about 10, 15 yards or 20 yards possibly, looking for a hole there, just none there. Smyrna defense quick to pursuit of the ball, and a really nice defensive drive by Smyrna.
So the ball's marked on the 23-yard line. Patrick Duffy is going to be standing on his own 10. He's on the left hash mark. Still not much wind here. If anything, it's going side to side, east or west, and so it's not going to impact the flight of the ball. High snap, pulls it down, and the kick is away, and it looks like Smyrna is just going to let it bounce, and it's going to be down by Joshua Johnson, and it's going to be down at their own 47-yard line. That's where Smyrna will take over.
Smyrna, they're in a great position right now, not only field position-wise, but the fact that the Salesianum defense was just out here not that long ago. That was a very quick drive by Salesianum standards. So if you're Smyrna, I think you're going right back at it, which it looks like they are. You're going to try to run the ball in the corners. You're going to try to get the ball out to your wide receivers and let Sanchez, if nothing's there, let him pull it down. He's got good wheels.
And with this no-huddle offense, the defense doesn't have much time to rest in between either. So it's going to be an important series for the Sal's defense here. Sanchez gets the snap, and he gives it to Knight. Knight works his way around the right side across the 45 to the 50 and driven out of bounds. They're going to mark it at the 48-yard line of Sally's. A tackle there made by Dalton McNabb, or I should say the push out of bounds made by McNabb.
And McNabb had a perfect angle on Wayne Knight to bring him down after only about a 1 or 2 yard gain. But Knight just a little stutter step, picked up some speed to the outside, used a stiff arm to pick up a good gain of 6 yards on first down.
And so it is going to be 2nd down and 4 Ball on the 47-yard line. Sanchez is in the shotgun. It looked like the offensive lineman moved, but he didn't. Sanchez faked the handoff, kept it, and then he ducks down out of the way of Bushweller. Tackle. Bushweller will get the credit for the tackle. It's going to be a loss of 1. They're going to mark it at the 48-yard line.
You're right. There appeared to be some early movement there. I'm not sure what was supposed to happen on that play, but it looked like a busted play all around. Sanchez certainly didn't expect to be buried as soon as he dropped back with the ball. So brings up a third and still somewhat manageable for Smyrna.
Eamon Roberts is in the backfield. He's just 1 step ahead of Sanchez, who's in the shotgun position. Knight is 1 step behind, and the give is to Knight, and he's going to follow his center up the middle. Tackled by Bushweller after a pickup of 3. The ball's going to be on the 45-yard line.
That was a really nice job by William Brandis, the senior offensive lineman. Did a great job of a seal block on the inside, allowing Knight to pick up the yardage to bring up a 4th and manage. When you have to think from this part of the field, and they are, so that's Smyrna will go for this.
And they're only going to need 1 yard. They're going to end up marking at the 44-yard line of Sal's. Earthquake formation from the right hashtag. Smyrna moving left to right or south to north if you're familiar with this stadium. Also in the backfield is Marcus Kajust, as he has been. Hasn't touched the ball yet in this formation. They're going to try to get Sally's to jump off sides and give him the first down, and I'm sure Bill Bernardo reminded his defense of that.
I'm sure also.
And a timeout has been taken. And I believe it is Mike Judy who has taken his 3rd and final timeout of the first half. So when they come out of the huddle, we're going to keep it right here. When they come out of the huddle, they will have a 4th and 1. Sally's with the lead, 14-8. Sally scored on a 52-yard punt return for a touchdown by Kevin Ferries before the Sally's offense even got on the field. Wade Knight fumbled it away, and Andrew Watkins on a 9-play, 44-yard drive capped it off with a 1-yard tiptoe dance into the end zone to put them up 14-0 with 5:03 to play. Smyrna punted, Sally's punted, and then it was Smyrna putting together a 7-play, 21-yard drive capped by Devin Smith's catch and run into the end zone from 43 yards out. And then Sally's just as quickly went 3 and out, and Smyrna on their 3 running plays unable to pick up a first down, and that's where we're at now. 5:37 to play. Sally's with a 14-8 lead, a 4th and 1 for Smyrna, moving left to right. They're on the right hash mark in the earthquake formation. Wade Knight is in and will receive the snap. The question is whether he will keep it or not. He receives it, he keeps it, and he plunges forward to the first down to make it all the way to the 40-yard line, so had 3 yards to spare.
You know, again, sound like a broken record, but the Smyrna offensive line is just getting so much push up front. That time, Wayne Knight had already picked up the first down and 2 yards before he was even contacted by a Sally's defender. Interesting defense there by Sally's. They only had 5 men on line of scrimmage, 3 linebackers, so still playing it like almost like a normal play with safeties and cornerbacks.
5 wide receivers total, nobody in the backfield, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Eamon Roberts and Knight filling what would you consider the slot positions on each side. Sanchez in the shotgun formation. The snap is back. He drops out. He fires over the middle and almost got it to Devin Smith. Another great diving tip by Rasheen Clark prevented a touchdown right there.
I am so impressed with the Sally's defensive backs. They have just done a fabulous job. I talked about in the pregame show, when you don't see it every day from your offensive unit, it's hard to come out here and defend. They weren't able to do it against Middletown. They're doing a fantastic job tonight.
Exact same formation for the receivers, other than Knight has moved from the slot to the left hip of Sanchez. Out to the right here is Ron Jackson, and 3 wide receivers to the far left, including Eamon Roberts. And Sanchez is going to roll that way, and he's being chased by the Sally's defense, and a heady play there by the sophomore quarterback, just throwing it out of bounds.
That's a really good job. That's something we don't always see Drew Fry make a play like that, just to put that in perspective. So you're right, sophomore quarterback doing a nice job recognizing Pacheco was right on his tail the entire time. There was nothing there. Just get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Special Olympics always looking for volunteers. Basketball and bowling are the next seasons. For more information, visit SODE.org or just Google Special Olympics Delaware. 1 hour a week for 8 weeks. Come out and make a difference. 3rd and 10, ball on the 40-yard line for Smyrna. Sanchez in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers to the left, 5 total. The snap is back. Sanchez has it, rushes on. He fires over the middle and incomplete, trying to hit Ron Jackson. And nice defense there by the secondary, led by James Johnson, the junior quarterback, going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, it just doesn't seem to matter who it is, whether it's James Johnson or Kalk or any of the other DBs. They're doing just a fine job. They're mirroring these Smyrna wide receivers out there. And then, I mean, these passes by Sanchez are right on target. The Sally's players are getting in at the last second to bat these away. So fabulous job by the defense.
So trailing 14-8, 4:50 to play in the second quarter. Smyrna is going to go for it on 4th and 10 on the Sally's 40-yard line. Wayne Knight is in the backfield on the right hip. Sanchez looks over to the sideline. He's going to change the play. Play clock's got to be running down. No timeouts left for Smyrna. They've used all three. Two wide receivers to the left, and the give is going to be to Knight. He's across the 40 to the 35, scoots around to the 20, has the first down, and knocked out of bounds at the 15 by Jehoshua Johnson. And so a first down play. I thought we might have had a hold on the edge here, but no flag, so it's going to be a first down for Smyrna.
I agree. I thought we had a hold from one of the Smyrna receivers on the edge, but a great job to take advantage of it. Wayne Knight, again, just flashing some real brilliance there, showing some great speed. He's exhibiting a little stutter step before he finally turns on the jets to get around that corner.
Four wide receivers to the right. Knight by himself on the left. The ball's on the left hash mark. It's 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Sanchez, the sophomore quarterback, in the shotgun formation. And it's going to be a quick out to the first team All-Stater Eamon Roberts. Misses one tackle, or gets away from one tackle. Knocked down at the 4-yard line. Tackle made by Matthew Scott. And it's going to be a first down for Smyrna, 1st and goal.
You know, that's about the third time I've counted that Brandon Pacheco was in fantastic position, perfect position to make a tackle, and was just deked out of shoes by Smyrna's wide receiver or their running backs. That time Roberts, if he'd spun to the left, he's done. Instead, he spins to the right and picks up a great gain for a 1st and goal situation.
Earthquake formation from the 5-yard line on the right hash mark, and it's going to be Marcus Cajuste again lined up to the right of Knight, and Knight is going to take it, and he's still on his feet, still moving forward, in the end zone, touchdown, Wayne Knight.
Offensive line has just taken over this game for Smyrna. Everything up front. Again, they were 3-4 yards deep into the backfield, the defensive backfield for Salesianum before Wayne Knight had anybody touch him. So just a great job up front. The big guys, which have been a hallmark of this Smyrna program, the offensive line, doing a really nice job of getting the ball into the end zone and putting them in position to take the lead.
10 plays, 53 yards, and it's tied up 14-14 with 4:09 to play. Earthquake formations already worked once with Wade Knight going in, and he's going to get the snap again, and he's going to fake the handoff and keep it, and tiptoes in practically untouched. So with 4:09 to play, Smyrna once trailing 14-0, now with a lead, 16-14 over Salesianum. We're going to keep it right here, Marty. Quite a turnaround of events here. Almost two completely different quarters from quarter one to quarter two. Sally scoring both their touchdowns in the first quarter, and Smyrna scoring both of theirs in the second.
And it's also been a turnaround as far as line play goes. In that first quarter, the Salesianum line was pushing Smyrna back 4 or 5 yards a clip every play after play after play. All of a sudden in the second quarter, again, whether it was a gut check or some pride talk took place on that sideline, the offensive and defensive lines have started asserting themselves, especially that offensive line. That time, you know, we had the parting of the Red Sea down there as they just pushed the Salesianum guys out of the way. You saw almost a V-shape of the Smyrna guys as they opened that hole there for Wayne Knight to just ease in for the 2-point conversion.
And the Smyrna defense, or the Sally's defense, I should say, since the 11:01 mark of this second quarter, the Sal's defense has been on the field for all but a minute and 29 seconds. So, and like we said, they don't even get a break in between plays because of the no-huddle offense. They've got to be on their toes, ready to go. Anthony Buscemi, 13 kickoffs, 10 touchbacks, and this one is going to be number 11 as it goes just shy of the field goal. And so Sally's is going to start the ball with their own 20 at their own 20-yard line. And Marty, even if they don't score, they got to pick up a couple first downs, give their defense a break.
Agree, 100%. With 4:09 on the clock, if you're Bill DiNardo and company, I think you'd like nothing more than to be able to burn the rest of this off, even if you can't get a scoring opportunity out of it. To your point, it's Smyrna, and I did not know that the Salesian defense had been on the field for that long. That is a huge part of this game where Smyrna has been able to put together drives, which is un-Smyrna-like. In the past, they were such a quick strike offense, but they're wearing down Salesianum.
Salesianum starting right between the hash marks. Watkins in the backfield. Bushweller goes in motion. Puzangara is under center, and the give is to Watkins over the right tackle. He spins as his custom to do. Picks up about 3 yards. They're going to mark it at the 23-yard line.
And if not for Watkins spinning out of that first tackle, that's a 1-yard gain. So again, Smyrna defense is making very quick contact contact with these Salesianum runners, whether it be Wheatley, Mara, or Andrew Watkins. So a completely different perspective of this game now as the Smyrna defense is really starting to assert themselves.
Pusengar's only attempted that one pass that was incomplete. He missed a wide open Healy. Wouldn't have been a first down, but would have set them up in better position. Not going to pass this time either, and it's an inside handoff. I think that was Mara who got up to the 32-yard line. It was, and so a first down for the Sal's, exactly what the doctor ordered.
First time we've seen that counter run to Mara by the Sal's, something they've been able to use to success a lot this season, but they haven't shown it tonight. Caught the Smyrna defense a little bit off guard, and a huge first down for Salesianum. That again, to give that defense a break and to give the offense a build up some momentum again. They haven't done anything for the last 15 minutes of game time.
I formation, looks like Healy in the slot, and Pusengar's going to drop back to pass, and he tries to throw over the defense, and a great jumping catch by Sean Regan, and he stays inbound, so it's going to be a first down for the Sal's. 3 minutes to play here in the second quarter. They trail Smyrna 16-14. They get into Smyrna the territory, ball marked on the 49-yard line.
And Regan's the tallest wide receiver out there, 6'3", 175 pounds. He presents a big target for Pusengar. That's the kind of throw Sally's likes to make close to the sideline. Let Regan go up and get it.
All white in the gold helmets. Bushweller goes in motion right to left, and it's a give to the up back. That's Watkins, and he gets drilled down. Actually, that was Mara. Pickup of 4, though, to the 45-yard line.
Right, nice gain there on first down by Mara to pick up 4 yards. And to your point, he was drilled at the end of that, so they made him pay for that 4-yard gain. But again, Salesianum starting to build a little bit of momentum here offensively, trying to regain that which they lost in the first quarter.
We're on the right hash mark, moving right to left. 2:18 to play. They trail Smyrna 16-14 after jumping out to a 14-0 lead. And a little trickery here, and the ball's going to end up in the hands of Kevin Ferries, and he gets all the way to the 30-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds by Gavin Sembley and Andrew Whitlock. So a little trickery from Mr. Donardo.
It is. I saw Ferries in the play in the backfield once for a few yards against Episcopal, but it's something they don't go to very often. Ferries is a kid that's got a lot of talent. He's the punt returner. He's got some quick feet. They don't use him a ton on offense. I imagine they will at some point, but yeah, real nice job there to catch Smyrna again off guard on this drive. Big pickup.
Listed at 5'8", 144, plays a lot bigger than that. I formation first down. Bushweller goes right to left from the 30. The give is to Watson over the left side, and he's going to get to the 26-yard line. He's going to bring up a 2nd and 6.
That time got a great lead block from Bushweiler, 6'3" and 245. They have him listed as a split end, but very rarely is he throwing the ball. Although he has one of those tight end bodies, he presents a big target out there. But he does a really nice job. He's usually the motion man that comes off the edge and takes on one of the linebackers or the defensive end.
Sally's has 2 timeouts left, 1:33 to play here in the first half. 16-14 Smyrna with the lead. I formation. Bushweller goes in motion left to right, and the give is going to be to Watson. He bounces off one tackler and gets all the way to the 15-yard line. Going to be a first down.
Watkins again, a huge hole that time. The Salesianum offensive line again led by Bushweller opened up a massive running lane there for Watkins to run through. So all of a sudden Salesianum getting back to what worked. They're starting to work inside and outside, confusing this Smyrna defense a bit.
Their 9 plays that went 44 yards for their second touchdown was nothing but runs. And so we'll see if they continue with that here. I formation, 2 wide receivers to the left. Bushweller goes in motion again left to right, and it's a give to the up back. That's Mara, and he gets taken down immediately. A nice job by the defensive line there for the Eagles. Gain just got back to the original line of scrimmage, and Bill Donardo is going to take his first timeout.
That time they used Bushweller as a decoy and ran opposite of him, and Smyrna defense wasn't having any of that. Without that big body in there blocking, they were able to get through the offensive line fairly quickly.
Tonight's broadcast is presented by the United States Air Force. The U.S. Air Force wants you to know there's a new recruiter in your area, Tech Sergeant Andrew Bugg, and his office is located on the riverfront in Wilmington. Stop by and find out about the exciting opportunities waiting for you in today's Air Force. Crown Trophy, People's Plaza in Newark, your one-stop shop for trophies, plaques, medals, and so much more. Crown Trophy People's Plaza is a proud supporter of the Fox Sports 1290 Game of the Week and home of the Delaware State Championship Trophy and Mini Trophy. Visit Crown Trophy in People's Plaza in Newark or online at crowntrophy.com. Salesian.com. 53.2 seconds left to play. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan, Earl Holland producing back in the studio. The 302 Sports crew here on the live stream. After falling behind 14-0, Smyrna struck on a 43-yard reception by Devin Smith and a 1-yard run by Wayne Knight to put the Eagles on top, 16-14. 2nd and 10. Ball on the 15-yard line. Bushweller left to right in motion. The give is to Watkins. He fakes out to the right side, brings it back up over the tackle, picks up 4 yards. They're going to mark it just shy of the 10-yard line.
That's an option run for Watkins where he can either bounce that outside or push it up inside. That time he chose to follow Bushweller inside for a nice gain. Bring up a 3rd and manageable, but if you're Salesian, now you're in territory where you may need to put the ball in the air.
And a correction, it was a 5-yard touchdown by Wayne Knight. I was thinking of his extra point. And it's a toss out to Watkins and taken down immediately on the 15-yard line. Nice tackle in the backfield there by Demetrius Buckner for a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like Puzangara, he came out of the, he received the snap, and then he ran back about 4 yards before he pitched it to the running back who was running perpendicular to him, and just there was no chance for success on that play. It looked like might have been a little confusion there.
And they're actually going to mark it at the 14-yard line. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 9.
I guess they're going to see Duffy here. This looks, I'm guessing this is something that may be in his range.
And Bill Bernardo took his 3rd and final timeout. He's not going to do anything except send his field goal unit on, so we'll see if Duffy, we don't have any stats. We know he's an excellent extra point kicker, but we get stats from Coach Bernardo, but the kicking stats are not part of it. So with 4.1 seconds left to play, now he's going to be kicking from the right hash mark. The flags literally are practically still, not waving at all. There is no rain, as much as everybody talked about the rain, and it might still come, but as of right now, there isn't any rain. This is going to be officially a 31-yarder, and the hold is going to be by David Harris. 4.1 seconds left to play. Duffy is back, and it looked like somebody jumped off sides. They're not calling it. The snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. Plenty of leg. And no good. No good. And so I'm not sure if it went off right. We're at a tough angle here.
You know, I also wonder if the false start that wasn't called threw Duffy off, because you would think the referee took a few steps forward. Mike Judy started throwing a fit down here that it wasn't called, and you wonder if some of that threw Duffy off. He had the leg for it, but just wide right.
And so that's going to bring us to the end of the first half here. Your score, the Smyrna Eagles 16 and Sally's 14. When we come back, we're going to send it back to the studio for a sports report with Earl Holland, and then we'll be back to talk about the first half here. Once again, your score at halftime, Smyrna 16, Smyrna 16, Sally's 14. We'll be back with halftime right after this.
Good to go?
Yeah, we're going to, they're only putting, it looks like 15 minutes on the clock, so it hasn't started yet either. So
as a small business
it's
owner,
going to be about a 15-minute.
So what
14 lead over Salesianum. Sally's jumped out to a 14-0 lead on a 52-yard punt return for a touchdown by Kevin Ferries, followed by Andrew Watkins touchdown, a 1-yarder with 5:03 left in the first quarter to put his team up 14-0. But it was all Smyrna in the second quarter. A 7-play, 21-yard drive capped by a 43-yard touchdown pass from Sanchez to Devin Smith. Sally's punted, and Wayne Knight capped a 10-play, 53-yard drive with a 5-yard touchdown. His second 2-point conversion of the night out of the earthquake formation gave Smyrna a 16-14 lead, and it was a missed 31-yard field goal by Patrick Duffy to end the half, one that he thought he should make, Marty, and actually came out and booted a 45-yarder just for fun.
Yes, he did.
While everybody else was still in. So Sally's is going to receive the second half kick. Anthony Buscemi is in. He's kicked twice, and both of them have been touchbacks. He's kicked 14 times this year. 11 of them have been touchbacks. He kind of looks like he's just going to squib it, and that's exactly what he does up the middle, and it's picked up by Sally's Jesse Wheatley, who's still on his feet, and he's going to be down at about the 37-yard line, and that is where Sally's will start the second half, trailing by 2.
And it's interesting, you always get the feeling like Smyrna decided with the slip ball and the conditions, they didn't want to take a chance on a miss hit by Buscemi that would give Sally's great field position. They're still starting in the best field position they've had all night as far as from a kickoff at the 37-yard line. So if you're Salesianum, you want to pick up right where you left off the end of the second quarter, running the ball behind that big offensive line.
And it's an I formation, and the give is going to be to Watkins, and he does just that, barreling up the middle, pick up about 3, marked at the 40-yard line, going to bring up a 2nd and 7.
And Sally's, just like they were in the first quarter, be more than happy to keep doing that. It was the tale of 2 quarters in that first half where Sally's dominated the line of scrimmage in the first quarter, and then tables completely turned for the second quarter on both sides of the ball for Smyrna. Their lines just took over the game. So if you're Sally's and Coach Sonardi, you want to reestablish coming out of the gate here.
I formation again, ball right in the middle of the field. Sally's in their all white with the gold helmets. Mara's the up back, and it's going to be a pass, and it's a quick pass out to the right. Has his man, that's Sean Regan, his second catch of the night, still on his feet, and knocked out of bounds by Chino Sarson, but not until he picked up a first down. Going to mark it at the Smyrna 45-yard line.
And you see how few times they do that throughout the season. Smyrna didn't pay any attention to Regan at all. They played well off the line against him. So nice quick pass out by Puzangara allowed the receiver to turn and make his way to the sideline. So a big gain there. Again, Sean Regan, a big receiver, a big target, and has really good hands.
And so a first down after that 15-yard reception. I formation, Mara the up back. The give is going to be Watkins, and he's going to barrel over the left tackle and pick up about 2 yards. We'll see where they end up marking it. Looks like they're going to mark it on the 43-yard line. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8.
As opposed to that first quarter I was just talking about, Watkins now is anticipating getting hit right away, and he is. Pretty much at the point of contact is when he's absorbing his first hit, whereas earlier in the game he was able to kind of navigate his way through and pick out his holes.
Again, if you're just tuning in, Debo Williams, the leading tackler with 68 for Smyrna, not in the game. He's in street clothes. The way he was walking looked like he had, like you said, some sort of compression thing on his knee. This is a quick out, and the catch is made by Bushweller. Going to be shy of the first down, but they're going to mark it at the 39-yard line, bring up a 3rd and 4.
And that was a fantastic one-handed catch by Bushweller. He stopped like he was waiting for a quick pass out to give a one-on-one situation, but the quarterback, Puzangara, threw it well in front of Bushweller, who reached out and nabbed that with one hand for a great gain on 2nd down to bring up a 3rd and very manageable.
Puzangara under center in the I formation again. Mara the up back, Watkins in the fullback position, 2 wide receivers out to the left. Bushweller goes in motion from left to right, leaves Regan out on the side. Watkins gets it, barrels forward, is going to be shy of the first down by about 1 yard, so that's going to bring up a 4th and 1. Interesting to see what they'll do here. Ball's going to be marked on the 36-yard line. They've got to get to the 30.
You feel like with the momentum they've gained so far, they've been able to get some push on the offensive line. Has Salesianum. Watkins has been able to find not a ton of running room, but enough to pick up 2, 3, 4 yards per carry. Not surprised to see them go forward here with the ball just about the 41-yard line of Smyrna. Big down here for the Smyrna defense.
And a new formation there, almost a wishbone type formation, and the give is to Watkins, and he gets down behind the line of scrimmage and they're going to be stopped on downs there. Mason Wilson, the junior linebacker, in on the tackle, and so it's going to be a turnover on downs. A big defensive stance by Smyrna.
Mason Wilson and the defense, a great job. They went low on Watkins, took out his legs, didn't allow him to gain any traction there. So what looked like a fourth and manageable, especially what Sally's had done on this drive, turned into a great stop, big momentum builder for the Smyrna Eagles.
And they're going to take over, moving right to left. The red jerseys, white pants, and the white helmets are on the right hash mark on their own 36-yard line. 9:17 to play. Smyrna with a 16-14 lead. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. And the give is to Wayne Knight, and he gets hit in the backfield, manages to escape from that, and Wheelie takes him down along with Scott, but not until a nice pickup up to the 43-yard line.
Even if this kid wasn't Will Knight's younger brother, you'd start to say, boy, that was a Will Knight style run there, where he's stuck in the backfield, but all of a sudden slams on the brakes, stops on a dime, cuts to one direction, moves ahead, picks up a great gain on first down.
2nd and 3 on the 43-yard line. Ball on the right hash mark. Knight goes in motion and then parks himself right behind Sanchez. And the give is to Knight. He works his way around the right side, and he's going to be brought down from behind by Matthew Scott. Still going to pick up a yard up to the 45-yard line. Pick up a 2, actually.
That time Logan Bushweller did a nice job. He kind of paused, which gave Sanchez pause on what he was going to do with the football. He ended up giving the ball kind of late to Wayne Knight, resulted in not a lot of yards. But again, a third, very short here for Smyrna. You have to think they're going to go back into the earthquake formation for this one.
Yeah, it's actually going to be a third and about a foot based on how the referee put his hands there. It's marked directly between the 45 and the 46-yard line. They got to get to the 46-yard line.
They stay in their regular offense. That's a change on third.
Well, it's probably 2-down territory at this site. Earthquake will be next if they need it, I would say. Sanchez in the shotgun, 2 backs there. Roberts, and the give is to Wayne Knight. He gets taken down, and we'll see if it's going to be 2-down territory because they lost about 4 yards there. 3 guys in on the tackle by Sally's.
That was a great job by Sally's. That play just never had a chance to get started. Bushweller was one of the first guys in the backfield. The handoff to Wayne Knight, just nothing there at all. There wasn't any chance for him to sidestep or whatever. So with that big of a loss, you lose 3 yards on that play. I don't blame Coach Judy for punting this away.
And Buscemi's going to come in averaging 33. He's had a good punt and a not-so-good punt. Ferries, who ran the not-so-good punt back 52 yards for a touchdown, is lined up on his own 17-yard line on the left hash mark. He'll be moving left to right when he kicks it away. Now, this is still in that yardage territory at 4th and 3, where if they can get Sally's to jump off sides, they'll have a first down. And instead it looks like it's going to be punted away. It is, and it's heading toward the sideline, and Ferries is going to get it on his own 20-yard line. He's going to start running east to west, and he's going to get taken down by Thomas Smith. And they're going to mark him at the 18-yard line, and that's where Sally's will take over.
And we've said it throughout our broadcast over the years that anytime you get a punt returner going east and west, the odds are in the defense's favor. That time, Smyrna, a great job of pursuit as Ferries tried to pull that back to the near side of the field, just not able to do it. Good job pursuing by Smyrna.
So with 6:53 to play, Sally's takes over on their own 18-yard line. Was there a flag on the play? There was. There is an illegal motion against Smyrna, and so it looks like Sally's is going to make them kick it again. And so for Smyrna, that is the 3rd penalty of the night, first here in the first half. So we'll do it all over again.
And Smyrna has historically been a pretty heavily penalized team over their title runs, the 3 years, but this year in particular, they've done a really nice job of cutting down on those. I did see movement before the snap, but we've actually seen that a couple times tonight, and it hasn't always been called, and it looked like the officials are going to let that go. I didn't see the flag.
Ferry's now on his 25-yard line. Buscemi has the snap, and he's going to try it again. He's going to try to get it over toward the right side. Ferry's comes up and makes a fair catch. Boy, you don't see that often at the high school level. He sprinted up and got it, and they're going to mark it down at the 37-yard line. So, wow, give him credit. That could have been disaster, or it could have turned out like it did.
It really could. He sprinted. Not only did he sprint up to catch it, but then he slid on one knee to finish the catch. But he did a nice job of procuring about an extra, 15, 17 yards of field position for Sally's here. So nice starting field position for the Sal's. They start another drive.
Yeah, that's one of those ones, if you let it bounce, it could take a rugby bounce and just keep going. So I formation, 6:53 to play. Smyrna with a 16-14 lead, moving left to right. The give is to Watkins, and he's going to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe get a yard. We'll see with his forward momentum there, going to bring up a 2nd and 9.
it has been such tough sledding for Watkins since that first quarter. Just nothing seems to be open. They're trying to keep it more inside. A few times where they tried to bounce it outside, Smyrna's speed has caught up to them. So Sally's just figuring with that big offensive line, they're going to try to wear Smyrna down, move something up inside. It just hasn't happened the last 2 quarters.
2nd and 9, I formation, 1 wide receiver out on each side for Sally's. And Pusengar's going to drop back, and a nice slant pass. Has his man, that's Sean Regan, and he's going to have the first down. So when they pass, Marty, they're pretty successful.
They do, and Regan, again, is the favorite target out there. He does a really nice job procuring the ball. Great hands on that. And Pusengar has a decent arm, and that time, you know, I kind of thought, oh, if he puts it up a little bit higher, the receiver's going to have room to run, but I was actually blocked by one of the banisters here. It looked like a Smyrna defensive back was headed to him, so good job, Pusengar, putting that down low.
1st and 10 on the 50-yard line, I formation. Regan is out to the right side. Bushweller goes in motion right to left and comes back, and he's going to try to throw a lead block for Watkins. Does so, and Watkins barrels forward to about the 43-yard line. Nice pickup on 1st down.
Yeah, anytime they can run behind Bushweller on that side and they get the big guys pushing back a little bit. That time we saw him do it for the first time in a couple quarters where Watkins would cut it up inside a little bit and just follow those 2 blockers for a nice gain on 1st down.
And so it's going to bring up a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 43-yard line. Sally's moving left to right. The ball's closer to the right hash mark. And I formation. Mara is the up back. Watkins is in the fullback position. Splits out on each side. To give is to Mara. And they try to catch the Sally's defense off guard. Pickup of about 2. Going to bring up a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, a little counter there, but Smyrna was all over it. They crashed down on the center and just blew that up from the beginning before there was any chance for the Salesianum blockers to get out in front of it. So good job by the Smyrna D-line.
You got to wonder if this is 2-down territory. I think they're out of Patrick Duffy's range, despite what we saw. It would be about a 58-yard field goal for him. And so, but you're also in that spot only trailing by 2. You're not sure you want to get Smyrna the ball back in this position. We'll see if they have to make that decision on this 3rd down play. You only need about 1.5 yards to give us to Watkins, and he has it. So no need to make that decision. It's going to be a 1st down at the 38-yard line.
Good job. They created just enough of a hole for Watkins to get through. Watkins make sure he got it and got down before he received the contact. So good job of the Sal's line just to get what they needed there, kind of restart this drive.
So with 4:20 to play, Smyrna with the last 2 touchdowns in this game, both in the 2nd quarter, and converted on both 2-point conversions. They've got a 16-14 lead. At 2 and 5, they're playing for pride. Sally's, on the other hand, at 6 and 2, jockeying for a berth in the postseason tournament. Watkins with the handoff, and he pushes himself forward, crosses the 35-yard line to about the 34. Going to bring up a 2nd and about 6.
All of a sudden, as this drive continues to progress, we see the Smyrna defense starting to get a little worn down a bit. This is what happened in the 1st quarter. With each successive carry, Watkins is able to get a little bit more and more yardage. So you see some hands on some hips with the Smyrna guys. It's a little cooler, it's wet, but they're still getting mashed out there by this big Sally's offensive line on this drive.
2nd and 6 from the 34-yard line. Puzengara is under center. Bushweller comes that way and then goes back to give it to Watkins, and he's stacked up immediately and brought down by Thomas McGinnis. The senior linebacker came in with 10 tackles. It's going to be a loss of about 1, maybe 1.5 back to the 35-yard line.
One of the easiest tackles Thomas McGinnis will ever have. He came in from an inside linebacker position, and no one picked him up, and he was able to meet Watkins straight away and put him down for no gain, bringing up a 3rd and now long for Salesianum.
3rd and 7 from the 35. They need to get to the 28-yard line. Regan is out wide left. Bushweller right eye formation. Watkins is in the fullback position. Mara is up front. Puzengara drops back, and he's looking for Regan, throws it up over the head, looking for interference, but Raymond Nyamiki made a nice play. I think they would have called it uncatchable even if they had thrown a flag.
I think Puzengara looked like the ball slipped out of his hand. It just took off immediately upon letting that go, and they're pulling Puzengara over to the sideline to talk as Coach Donardo, but they haven't sent out the punt team as of yet. And as you said, you're sort of in that no man's land. It's too far for a field goal, but you want to be mindful of the fact you don't want to give Smyrna a short field. If you turn it over to them here, they still have to go 65 yards for a touchdown. So I kind of like the odds of going for it in this situation.
Yeah, and so we will see Puzangaro comes back onto the field. 4th and 7, ball on the 35-yard line. It looks like they're going for it. Of course, 7 yards and offsides doesn't help them, even if they tried to draw him. And the give is going to be a fake for Watkins. Puzangaro's going to keep it around the right side. He's got the edge, and I believe he's got the first down. The mark is going to be key, and it looks like they're going to mark it right on the 26-yard line. And that's going to be a first down. So it wasn't as close as I originally thought. So quarterback keeper end around there, and picks up the first down.
I love that play call because Smyrna actually put a safety over the top of Sean Regan with the feeling that on 3rd and 7 they're going to throw the ball and they're going to try to go to their best target. And they used that to clear the near side of the field. So when Puzangaro dropped back and his receiver took the DBs down the field, there was no one there to stop Puzangaro from getting the first.
10th play of the drive, and it goes to Watkins, the leading rusher on this team, the St. Mark's transfer, and he's going to barrel up to about the 23-yard line. So a pickup of about 3.
And again, they're just pounding forward. This is a classic Salesian drive. They've mixed in a few runs. They've mixed in a few passes. They mixed in the threat of a pass on the big first down on 3rd and 7. But if Bill DiNardo coach teams, this is what he's looking for. He wants a long drive that uses the whole field. He wants to pound the ball inside, go outside a little bit. And again, the threat of Regan out there, having caught a couple passes, has opened things up a little bit inside for Watkins.
Rain is coming down. Sally's has had the ball for the last 5 minutes. Wishbone formation. The give is to Watkins. Sidesteps one tackler and gets down to the 20-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd and about 4.
And that was a nice job by Watkins, as you said, sidestepping that tackler. If he doesn't get past there, he only picks up about 2 yards there. So a nice job making the 3rd a manageable situation. Again, with this drive taking so long, you just feel like Smyrna's wearing down a bit. Sally's is able to maneuver a little bit more running room for Watkins.
And I'd say they are in Patrick Duffy range. It would be about a 37-yarder, but again, it is pouring now. And again, another fake to Watkins, and this time Puzangaro is going to get driven out of bounds. Andrew Whitlock on the tackle. We'll see where they mark it, but it's going to be shy of the first down no matter where they do, and that's going to bring up a 4th down, and it looks like the field goal unit is coming on.
That was an interesting call for Salesian because that time Smyrna didn't put a safety over the top on Regan, so there was an extra defender there waiting for Puzangaro. It almost looked like the identical play they ran on 3rd and 7, which, knowing the Salesian offense, it may well have been the same play. That time Smyrna was ready for it. Yeah, going to be interesting to see what they do here. Duffy is out for the field goal try. Be about a 34-yarder.
No, you had it right. Yep. Right. 39-yard field goal attempt for Patrick Duffy. On the hold is David Harris. It's from the right hash mark. If there is a wind, it's going to be at his back, a little bit left to right. The hold is down. No, it's a fake, and actually I don't think it was a design fake. Eamon Roberts came in, and a tackle there ended up being made by Mekhi Jackson. I think it slipped out of the hands of David Harris.
I do too, and we should say to the fans, the reason we think it slipped out of his hands, it's raining so hard that the windows are getting hard to see through here. Everything is distorted, but I agree with you. It kind of looked like the snap was mishandled there by Salesianum, so you kind of feel bad for Patrick Duffy. He was looking to atone for that missed 31-yarder at the end of the half, but going to have to wait for another opportunity, and it ends up being a big stop, although not really from their own doing by the Smyrna defense.
1:04 to play here in the 3rd quarter. So Sally's, if they did nothing else, they chewed up a lot of clock. But of course, when you're down by 2, you don't necessarily want to be in that situation. 1st and 10, ball on the 30-yard line, and the give is to Wayne Knight, and he is going to be hauled down by the captain, Brendan Pacheco, about 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they mark it, but a great play by Pacheco there.
And that's partly the freshman Wayne Knight thinking he could make a bigger play. He could have cut that up and gotten a few yards, made it 2nd and somewhat manageable, maybe 2nd and 7 or 8. Instead, he tried to turn a corner and come up with a big play. Sally's just waiting for him.
And so Smyrna with a 16-14 lead, 35 seconds left to play here in the 3rd quarter, moving right to left, the red jerseys and the white pants, playing for pride here. 2 wide receivers out to the left. Sanchez gives it off to Wayne Knight. Wayne Knight comes up the middle and gets tackled by Colin Fowler after a pickup of maybe 1. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 26-yard line, and that most likely will be the end of the 1st quarter here. clock is running under 10 seconds to play.
And we're not seeing a lot of cutting from the runners anymore, and I'm guessing that's, we'll grant that to the rain slicking things up out there. It has really come down here in the third quarter.
And that is the end of the third quarter here. A quick one at Charles V. Williams Stadium. Smyrna still has the lead over Salesianum 16-14. We'll be back to the fourth quarter right after this.
Commender on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 homebuyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time homebuyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is a award.
A little bit off and on, but now it's coming down pretty steadily here as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Smyrna with a 16-14 lead and the ball. They'll have a 3rd and 14 on their own 26-yard line. Now moving left to right, the red jerseys, white pants. As we said, with the 2-5 record, Smyrna is playing for pride. At this point, they will not have an opportunity to defend their 3-time state championship crown here. Sanchez is in the shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers out to the left. Wayne Knight is on his right hip, and it is Devin Smith who has the 43-yard touchdown on his right. And it is Wayne Knight with it, trying to get around to the left side, brought down over there after a pickup of a couple. Tackle made by Colin Fowler, second straight play. We've called his name.
Again, I think part of it is that the turf is getting much slicker. Wayne Knight looking like he could have cut that back, but instead kind of gingerly did it. Got a few yards on the play. Bring up about a 4th and 12 or 11, it looks like, here in Smyrna. Had to punt it away, and Sally's is in position to get the ball in really good field position here if they play this right.
Kevin Ferries, who has the 52-yard punt return that opened up the scoring for Salesianum for the game. In fact, he's going to be on his 30-yard line. Judging by the way the rain is falling over in the spotlight, the rain is going to be at the back of Bushi when he kicks it. And he does, trying to kick it away from Ferries. It's going to take a bounce, and it looks like Ferries is going to wisely let it bounce, but unfortunately it's going to cost him about 10 yards. And Smyrna punt team urging the ball to keep moving, and it does all the way down to the 20-yard line. Still moving, in fact, and that's that wind I was talking about. And is finally going to be down, and the wind, I think, carried it an extra yard, maybe 2 yards.
My brother has willed a few golf putts like that over the years, as I've heard. Yeah, that was a really nice job. I mean, you can't ask for more than that from Buscemi. It wasn't exactly the picture of perfection as far as punts go, but it got the job done and then some by keeping Sally deep in their own territory, forcing them to go 80 yards now if they want a touchdown.
So neither team has been able to score here. Sally's has turned it over on downs and attempted a field goal that never got off after an errant snap, and Smyrna has punted twice. Puzangara is under center, and it's a quick give to Mara. Mara gets through the first line of defense, shakes one tackle, and a second. He's around the edge to the 35-40, and finally brought out of bounds there by Raymond Nyamiki, but a big pickup all the way to the 46-yard line.
That was almost identical to the play that gave them the win against Westminster last week. Liam Marr taking that quick handoff on the snap from the fullback position, just hitting that line quickly. He got a little bit of a hole and took advantage of it, so a huge gain on first down. Get Sally's out of that hole. He picks up, what, about 26 yards on first down?
Yeah, 24 to be exact where they ended up. They must have stepped out earlier than it looked, because I thought he had another 2 yards as well, but it's going to be on the 44-yard line as the Sal's, and they're all white and the gold helmets, moving right to left into the rain just a little bit as it's coming down here. I formation. Bushweller goes in motion, going side to side. The give is to Watkins, and he goes over the right tackle. His forward momentum's going to take it up to about the 49-yard line. it looks like that would be a pickup of 5. Actually, they're going to mark it at the 48, so a pickup. Well, they're not sure where they're going to mark it. Right between the 48 and the 49-yard line. So it's going to be a second down, and we're going to call it 5.
And Smyrna defense playing kind of a dangerous game of bend but don't break in this second half. They've allowed a big Sally's drive that resulted in that botched field goal try, but they're getting good yards.
Sally's has had the time of possession for the majority of this half. Nothing to show for it yet. And the give is to Mara, and nothing going there as he gets dragged back. They're going to give him his full momentum, where he's only going to lose about 1.5 yards. It'll be marked at the 47-yard line. Going to bring up a third down.
There's just some plays where you kind of get the feeling that the defense, as they line up, think, okay, I know exactly where this is going, because they swarmed to Mara as soon as he took that handoff. So a nice job of recognition by Smyrna's defense. They weren't going to fall for Mara up the middle again.
We'll see if this is a pass play. Pusengara hasn't attempted many, but when he has, he's had open wide receivers. Here he goes, trying to hit Regan on the same play. Regan makes a great catch. Now we're going to say, did he catch it? Incomplete. He had it, but a nice play on defense there. Raymond Nyamiki was in on defense, and I think that was Whitlock as well.
And, you know, again, it does make you wonder why they don't use that more, utilize that more in their offense. Regan, again, he's a big kid. And Pusengara tonight, John, has done a really nice job of, for the most part, putting the ball on target. It's not like he's coming out here with a scattershot arm and throwing it all over the place. So he's done a nice job putting it in position for his receiver to catch.
And a couple times he's been off target, it's been where nobody else could catch it. Patrick Duffy back on his own 35-yard line, punting away. Wayne Knight standing on his 18. And a low snap, scooped up by Patrick Duffy. Gets a nice kick away. Knight's going to get it on the, no, he's going to let it bounce. And it looked like it hit a Smyrna player. A little confusion there. The Sally's has it. The ref has not stepped in and made a call yet. In fact, no, they're saying it's a Smyrna ball. No, now they've changed their mind back. It's Sally's ball. So the ref had the call correct. He just made the wrong
and you know what? That's, again, the freshman Wayne Knight. Once you see it's going to hit, there was a Smyrna player, a blocker that was not 3-4 yards in front of him, and he's got to yell, you know, most teams yell poison or something like that to get the guys out of the way. And that just, it looks like it didn't happen because it just bounced right into the Smyrna player, and then Sally's was all over. It was just kind of a run to see who would get there first.
And so a gift for Sally's, if they can take advantage of it, is going to be 1st and goal. The ball is just inside the 10-yard line, so they've only got 4 plays to get in here. They trail 16-14, 9:06 to play. It's on the right hash mark, moving right to left. The rain is coming down. Bushweller goes in motion right to left. And the give is going to be to Watkins. And Watkins bursts up the middle, dives into the end zone, waiting for a signal. Touchdown.
Great job. You got to think that the Smyrna defense, first of all, they're shell-shocked. They don't expect to be out on the field that quickly. But to your point earlier about the time of possession in this game, Smyrna has been on the field a lot in this second half. And you kind of get the feeling they were a little worn down. Again, they come out unexpectedly, and Sally's takes advantage of it by just running the ball right up the gut with Watkins, who did a strong job. It looked like that last 3-4 yards was Watkins and some guys pushing into the end zone. So a great job by Sally's taking advantage of the mistake on special teams by Smyrna.
We're at the 8:59 mark in the 4th quarter, and the Sally's offense has been on the field for all but 5 minutes of the second half. Has a 20-16 lead here. I formation. We're going for 2. Bushweller goes in motion right to left. Now he's heading back. And the give is to Watkins. Watkins works his way in and scores. So with 8:56 to play, Sally's has taken back the lead over Smyrna, 22-16. We'll be right back.
No matter where you are in life, at every stage, we are here for you, for all of life's big moments, and everything in between. After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
No matter where you are in life, at every stage, we are here for you, for all of life's big moments, and everything in between. After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life.
Here at Smyrna High School in a back-and-forth game, and Sally's is back on top after a 10-yard run by Andrew Watkins, followed by his own two-point conversion on the run in the end zone. And kicking off is Patrick Duffy with a 22-16 lead, and as he's done before, this kick is going to fall into the end zone, and Smyrna is going to take over on their own 20-yard line.
Well, if you're Smyrna, again, you got to be a little shell-shocked at what just transpired in the last 10 seconds of game time, where they botched the punt return, and it turns out being Sally's ball. Watkins runs it in for a quick TD. All of a sudden, they're down 6 points in a game where it felt like they still had the momentum, though they haven't really possessed the ball that much in this half. So now, if you're Smyrna, you just want to reassert what you were doing in the second quarter. You want to get that running game going. It's a little more difficult with the conditions as far as the runners cutting on it, but looks like they're going to start out in the earthquake here.
It actually looks like the rain has let up a little bit. Of course, that's easy for us to say up here in the dry press box. And the earthquake formation, Knight has it, and he spins off the one tackler, but it was Thomas Cavalucci who comes back and ends up pulling him down. Going to be a loss of a yard, bring up a 2nd and 9.
I personally don't get why you go to the earthquake from your own 20 on first down in this position, but they've had so much success with it over the years. They haven't necessarily had a lot of success with it this season, with Will Knight being gone and Isaiah Wilson being gone, but now they're sticking with it.
2nd and 11 on the 19. Knight has it, still has it, over the right tackle, trying to inch his way, breaks away, he's across the 30, trying to get around the edge to the 35, pushed out of bounds by Dalton McNabb at the 40-yard line, so a first down for Smyrna.
You know, that's exactly the way they want that to work. When Will Knight was here, he hides behind the line. That time he kind of crept out to the right side of the line. He hid behind it as the rest of the 21 players on the field are fighting with each other. He finds a little seam, hits the outside with that speed. Big first down for Smyrna and Wayne Knight.
Yeah, the other thing Mike Judy might be thinking about is he needs to kill some time here if they're going to score and not give Sally's a lot of time on the clock here. 8:16 to play. Clock stopped after the out-of-bounds play. Knight has it. He's going to try to work up the middle, and instead it's going to be brought down by Brendan Pacheco, the captain for Sally's. His forward momentum gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be a 2nd and 10.
The drawback with the earthquake, if you're a defense, if you can slip inside those two guards in the center, if you can clog that up in the middle, you can really destroy it from the get-go, and that's exactly what Sally's did on that one.
Yeah, Smyrna had a bigger line than almost everybody in the state the last few years, but it's now even out as they've lost a big senior class last year. That was part of that 3-year dynasty. Knight has it, fumbles it around, ball up in the air. Sally's got it and picked up at the 40-yard line. That's Matthew Scott's going to rumble into the end zone for the score. A 40-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown by Matthew Scott. Puts Sal's up 29-16.
And unfortunately, the second time we've seen the freshman cough the ball up tonight. That time, of course, the most costly, as that took a sort of a shortstop bounce right to Matthew Scott, who picked it up, hit him right in the gut, made his way around one Smyrna defender who kind of dove at him and then ran into the end zone. So just a huge turn of event in about the last minute and a half to 2 minutes of game time here in Smyrna.
And so with 7:26 to play, Sally's finds itself up 28-16. As you mentioned, the second time Wayne Knight has coughed the football up, unfortunately for that freshman. He's got a great career ahead of him.
Yes, he does.
And this game is far from over. You can see the disappointment of Knight. You can see the other players there consoling him there. Wishbone formation here for the Sal's. Pusangaro is under center trying to go for 2 here, and it's going to be a fake. Pusangaro goes around the right side and gets tripped up. A really nice tackle there by Andrew Whitlock. Saved the 2-point conversion. So with 7:26 to play, Salesianum a 28-16 lead over Smyrna. We'll be back right after this.
Imagine your dream carpet installed for free. The Home Depot.
The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroup.re.com. The Hadley Group is your local real estate.
Williams Stadium. Salesianum, a 40-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown by Matthew Scott. Two-point conversion, no good, but the Sal's have a 28-16 lead with 7:26 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Sally's trying to get their 7th win of the season and increase their chances of not only a playoff tournament game, and who knows, you never know whether they'd get that first-round bye or the home court advantage. Patrick Duffy's ball is kicked up by Devin Smith at the 3-yard line. He comes back up, streaking through the middle, and is going to be tackled at the 24-yard line, and that is where Smyrna will take over.
And I'm guessing we may have seen the end of the earthquake for tonight, if only for practical reasons where you need 12 points and you've only got 7:20 in which to do it. They've got to move the ball down the field. The freshman Wayne Knight, of course, back in the backfield. They're going to get the ball right back in his hands. He's simply too talented not to. But this is where they're going to need Sanchez in the receiving core to step up.
So Sanchez is in the shotgun formation. Knight is on his left hip. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right in front of us. That's Ron Jackson. Smyrna moving left to right as we see it. The give is to Wayne Knight. He tries to get around the edge, escapes 1 tackle, still on his feet, and finally brought down by 3 different Sally's guys, led by Dalton McNabb, the 5'10 senior.
And you know, there's always a psychological aspect to fumbling, because for a guy like Wayne Knight, who's a freshman, you're going to be extra careful with securing the ball. That can also result in you not maybe taking as many chances as you normally would. It also means these Sally's players, they're going to try to strip the freshman from this point forward.
And so the ball was on the 27-yard line, a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7 on the right hash mark side. Wayne Knight gets it. He's heading around the left side, being chased from behind and tackled by big number 85, James Yelbert, the 6'4 sophomore. Knight picked up, looks like 3 yards. They're going to mark it on the 35-yard line.
There was a great block out on the edge by the wide receiver, Mekhi Jackson, the junior, and Wayne Knight actually cut inside instead of going around the block, which is how Mekhi had it set up. If Wayne Knight goes outside, who knows how much more yardage he picks up there.
3rd and 4 is the yardage that he'll need if he gets the ball in his hands this time. Ball is on the left hash mark. Smyrna moving left to right, trips to the right, 1 wide receiver out to the left. Knight is on the right hip of Sanchez. Sanchez drops back. He's trying to get the pass over, and it's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Joshua Johnson, and they were trying to get it to Mekhi Jackson, so 3rd turnover of the night.
And you wonder if that's maybe a result of a slick ball or not, but we've seen Aiden Sanchez do a better job of placing that ball. That time he threw it inside of the receiver when it needed to be thrown over the back shoulder or behind him on the back shoulder. He put it exactly in one place where you can't put it, which was directly where the defensive back was moving into the receiver. Turns out to be an easy interception for Salesianum.
The 3rd turnover of the night for Smyrna. Sal's takes over with the ball on the 47-yard line, their 47-yard line. Bushweller goes in motion, I formation. Mara gets the quick handoff, and he bursts up the middle to the 45.
John, I couldn't have said it better myself. I know my partner's having some trouble here with his throat. You know what? This is one of those situations for Sally's. And going back to your point, Smyrna has been on the field for so long. Coach DiNardo is telling his guys on the offensive line, look, just keep bowling these guys forward. They are wearing down. We've had them out here for most of the second half. And for the runners, hang on to the football.
And so it's on the 45-yard line for Sal's, 2nd and 2. And Watson has it, and he's got the 1st down, tackled by Gavin Sembley, his 34th tackle of the season, but it's going to be a 1st down at the 42.
That was an instance. There were 2 Smyrna defenders in the backfield, and they both let Andrew Watkins slip through their grasp. Again, I'm going to attribute that to just being out there for so long and having to work so hard to get inside of this Salesianum defense. And for Andrew Watkins and this line, they're now taking advantage of a Smyrna defense that's frankly tired.
Been on the field the majority, probably 80% of the second half. Watkins gets the handoff up the middle, escapes a couple tackles, but finally brought down by Ryan McFarland. Going to be real close to the 1st down, depending on where they mark it. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 33, which would be a yard shy. Needs to get to the 32-yard line.
And the senior defensive lineman, Demetrius Buckner for Smyrna, had Watkins dead to rights. He wrapped him up around the waist, and he just lost him. Watkins wriggled himself free, got into a position where he brings up a 2nd and short, which really opens things up for most teams, but which we know will be a run for Salesianum, and who can blame them as they're trying to run out the clock here.
James Johnson in the game is going to line up at the wide receiver on the right side, and a quarterback keeper by Puzingara. He's going to get the first down to the 30-yard line.
You know, that's the second time tonight Puzingara has done that, where he's noticed that Smyrna is not lining anyone up over the center. So basically they're giving him a free ride. If the center just moves out of the way or even pushes forward a little bit, Puzingara gets about 2, 3, 4 yards. So, and a huge first down there with just now under 4 minutes to go in the game. Salesianum can burn a ton of clock here at the Smyrna 30-yard line.
Don't forget to stay tuned for the American Spirit Federal Credit Union post-game show right after the game. 3:49 to play. Bushweller motion left to right. Sally's moving right to left. The give is to Watkins, and he goes around the left side and brought down there by Mason Wilson after a pickup of about 1 to the 29.
And that was a good job of Wilson and Gavin Sembley there of holding Watkins up before finally bringing him down. But again, it's taking several guys now to get Watkins on the ground. We talked about in the pregame, he's such a difficult guy to get on the ground. When you're as tired as that Smyrna defense has to be now, it gets even harder. And this game could not be in a better position for a Salesianum-built team, a Bill Donardo coach team than it is right now.
A big thanks to our partner NKN Films for their outstanding design on our 2018 high school football schedule poster. Visit nknfilms.com for all your video needs. 2nd and 9, ball on the 29-yard line. I formation. Bushweller in motion left to right. Watkins has it, moves around the right side, gets spun himself, not doing the spinning himself, and the tackle made by Gavin Sembley, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And even there, they get a couple yards on a broken play. Puzingara turned. It looked like he was trying to hand off to the fullback, but no one was there. So he had to step back a little bit further and finally give it to Watkins, who, because of the slower pace, was only able to get about 2 yards, bringing up a 3rd and long. But with Smyrna taking a timeout here, Sally's still in great position in this game.
We're going to take a quick timeout with them. 2:49 to play. Sally's with a 28-16 lead over the Smyrna Eagles.
Future.
From the needs of college students and first-time auto buyers, I promise to identify and take ownership of your needs.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
As a military wife, I love helping our airmen and their families with financial tools to help provide financial stability.
I promise to make a positive difference in your financial life, from helping you to lower your payments to discovering ways to help you save for your children's future.
From the needs of college students and first-time auto buyers, I promise to identify and take ownership of your needs.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
As a military wife, I love helping.
8-16 lead over the Smyrna Eagles. Sally's trying to pick up their 7th win of the season as they fight for playoff position. 3rd and 8 on the 28-yard line. And a timeout here. It looks like that Sally's has taken a timeout.
It looks like it's an equipment issue.
Okay.
They didn't have something done right there, so they stopped the game. It's a new safety feature this year. We see the referees, if somebody's mouthpiece isn't in or they can't strap their helmet on, that they escort them out of the game.
Mettenheimer came out. Ethan Walker came in. We'll see if that makes it different here. Bushweller goes in motion to the left and then comes back to the right. Watkins with the ball drives up the middle. He's going to get his forward progress to the 25, maybe the 26-yard line is where they'll mark it. Not going to be enough, nearly enough for the first down. I think they're trying to set Patrick Duffy up for a few.
You know what? I actually don't think they will. I think they're going to run the ball right into the line again. I think he's not going to take the chance on having a block or a bobbled snap. I wouldn't be surprised. You figure you punt from here, you don't gain anything. If you miss the field goal or it's blocked, then you get a chance for a return. I'd be surprised if they bring Duffy out here. Knowing the Bill Donardo offense over the years, I'd be more inclined to see a run right into the middle where they get nothing and turn the ball over and leave a long field for Smyrna to go, needing 2 scores.
Yeah, we'll see. That Smyrna has taken their 2nd timeout, so if and when they do get the ball back and needing 2 scores, they're going to have to do it quickly, which this offense is built to do.
Yes, and personally, I'd love to see Duffy get another shot, because after seeing him come out in the rain at halftime and hit a 45-yarder just to prove to himself, darn, I know I can do this, and then taking the tee and going right back into the locker room, you'd love to see him get a chance at redemption here. But again, I'd be surprised if they bring him off the sideline.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local Union 313 and the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, Energizing Delaware, visit IBEW313.org. And as always, thanks to Crown Trophy for providing the player of the game that we will announce during the post-game show. Tom Sudar from Crown Trophy and Peeps Plaza stop by and say hi. 4th down and 6, and Marty, you're right, they're going for it.
And they've got actually Andrew Watson, in a wildcat formation here.
And so we'll see, maybe they were trying to catch Smyrna off guard and see if they'd call a timeout. Now they're barking it as if they're trying to catch him off, and they don't. Watkins gets it. He's going to work his way around the right side, barrels his way for the first down, and that might be the run that puts the nail in the coffin for the Smyrna Eagles.
Boy, if you want to sum up what Andrew Watkins has meant to that team, watch this play on the tape. I mean, this was all him. He was stopped before he got the first down yardage, and twice just bowled right through guys through sheer will to pick up that first down. So a great call there by Coach DiNardo, a great execution job by Andrew Watkins, and that really is, as you said, Smyrna's going to take a timeout, but that really feels like the nail in the final nail in the coffin tonight.
And we're going to take our final timeout of this second half as well. 2:33 to play. Sally's with a first down and a 28-16 lead over Smyrna.
Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroup.re.com. The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local...
Over Smyrna, 2:33 to play. Smyrna has just used its final timeout. Sally's has a first down, ball on the 17-yard line. 2:33 to play. As I said, I formation. Bushweller goes in motion left to right. Sally's is moving right to left. The give is to Watkins, and he cuts in over the left tackle, and he's brought down by Eric Larson, but not until he picked up, it looks like about 5 yards.
And I love Watkins. Looked like he could have tried to spin out and get more, but he wrapped both hands around the ball and allowed himself just to be spun into that tackle. You love to see that kind of team player. He probably could have tried to fight through there for a few extra yards, but instead he protects the ball and the lead.
Out of town scoreboard, DMA has defeated Newark, so they get the bonus Division I points and move to 6-3 on the season, and Sussex Central is easily handling Cesar Rodney, so they're going to go to 8-1. Handoff is to Watkins, and he scoots around the right side, shakes off one tackle, and goes into the end zone. 12-yard touchdown score. Andrew Watkins, third of the day.
And that's completely attributable to two things. Watkins finding the opening on the outside, and that Smyrna defense just not being able to catch him. John, they have been out there for so long in this half. It's almost hard to watch as they're struggling here, getting in and out of their defensive huddles, and Salesianum just doing a fantastic job of wearing them out. That time Watkins took advantage of the energy-depleted defense, bounced it out to the outside after breaking one tackle and putting it in for another touchdown.
A 10-play, 53-yard drive capped by Andrew Watkins, 12-yard touchdown. 34-16, Smyrna Sally's with the lead over Smyrna. Patrick Duffy on for the extra point. The hold will be by David Harris. The hold is down. The kick is up, plenty of leg, and it is good. So with 1:47 to play, Salesianum looks like they're going to move to 7-2 on the season as they have taken a 35-16 lead over the Smyrna Eagles at this point. Marty, this was, we weren't sure what this game was going to be like. You know, when you've got Stephen Whaley missing and you've got Debo Williams missing, so your best offensive player, your best defensive player, both missing for Smyrna, a team that is struggling, the 3-time defending state champions, 2-5 on the season, officially eliminated from the playoffs. Just didn't know what team we were going to get. Sally strikes first right off the bat 2 times, and you're thinking, man, this might be a blowout. Yep. Smyrna's got nothing to play for. Smyrna comes right back and goes into the half with a 2-point lead, and it's literally been all Sally's in the second half with the 3 scores.
Yeah, it's been 21-point barrage by Sally's unanswered to give them what turns out it looks like it's going to be a win. But for Smyrna, when they get into the film room this week, there's going to be a lot of positives they can take from this. Certainly, ball security is an issue. Wayne Knight looks like he's going to have a fantastic future. A lot of their skill players are younger, so there's a lot of positives to take from this game. But they gave Salesianum a good fight for a good portion of this game.
Patrick Duffy kicks it, and this is going to be the first one that doesn't go into the end zone. Wayne Knight gets it on his own 5-yard line, coming up the right seam here, and gets taken down at about the 28-yard line. In on the tackle there was number 23 for Sal's, but the first tackle was made by Matthew Scott, of course, who had the fumble recovery of 40 yards for the touchdown to put Sal's ahead at the time.
And John, just another out-of-town score. It's kind of interesting. Delmar 23, Milford 21 at the end of third quarter.
A rematch of last year's state championship game.
Living up to the billing.
Delmar has not lost to a Delaware team in the last 2 years. And so 1:40 to play here. Smyrna's got no timeouts left. They're going to have to move quick. They're on their own 28-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Sanchez in the shotgun formation. It's going to be nothing but passes here. And he had Eamon Roberts in and out of his hands. And on the defense there was Dalton McNabb, so it'll be 2nd and 10.
Dalton McNabb, again, great job in coverage, as all of the Salesianum DBs have been tonight. Now they're in a tough spot is Smyrna. They know Aiden Sanchez and company are going to have to put the ball in the air. It hasn't been a great night for Eamon Roberts. We've seen him pull down some great catches over the years. This just hasn't been his night tonight, but give credit to the Salesianum defensive backfield.
1:34 to play, 2nd and 10. Ball on the 28-yard line, 3 wide receivers to the left. Sanchez is going to roll that way. He's going to fire across his body, incomplete, trying to hit Eamon Roberts there. Several Sally's guys in the area, but unable to come up with the interception.
Yeah, we're going to get a flag in the middle of the field. The Sally's and Smyrna player were going at it in the middle of the field. One of the Smyrna players is now down on the ground. I don't know if we're going to get a hold or looked like there were some extracurricular activities between the 2 guys. The referee jumped in and threw the flag quickly, but hopefully nothing serious here. But again, Salesianum doing a great job shutting off the passing lanes and just not allowing the Smyrna receiver any kind of traction.
And so flag is sitting on about the 28-yard line, about 10 yards away from where the injured player is. It is a hold, and it's going to be against Smyrna. I would think Sally might decline this.
I would think so too.
Not.
Yeah, the only thing I guess they're figuring is give them that much further to go.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. At this point, I would think the downs are more precious than the actual yards are. But Coach Narr, you can be a little picky with a 19-point lead, a minute and a half to go, I suppose.
Well, and the clock stopped anyway,
yes,
so it's
exactly.
not like if you decline it, they're going to start the clock and take time off. It's going to be 1:28 to play, no matter what. Coming up, it's the iHeartRadio postgame show presented by the American Spirit Federal Credit Union, bringing you Kasasa Checking. Ask for free Kasasa Checking by name at American Spirit Federal Credit Union in Newark, Middletown, and Dover. Visit AmericanSpirit.org. And, of course, Marty will announce our Crown Trophy player of the game.
And that injured player, John, was Andrew DeBenedictis Bain, a junior defensive lineman and offensive lineman for Smyrna, was able to come off under his own power.
And so 2nd and 20 now. Ball on the 18-yard line. Same basic formation. Nobody in the backfield. Sanchez will be in the shotgun formation. Eamon Roberts is out to the right along with Ronald Jackson. 3 wide receivers out to the left. Spread out about as far as you can be. Smyrna's moving left to right. And a big rush by Sally. Sanchez manages to step away with it. And an interception, a diving interception by Rasheen Kalk. And he's had a couple diving tips and finally gets rewarded with an interception.
You're right. He's done a fantastic job in the defensive backfield all night. He's batted away a couple of passes, as you said, that time. Wow, he showed wide receiver hands on that one as he dove to the ground and snagged that with his fingertips. So a great job. Aiden Sanchez had plenty of time to throw the ball, but Sally's, of course, they were playing so many defensive backs there. There was so much clogging in the middle of the field out in the pattern, but just a great job of Kalk to dive in there, pick that off, and seal the win for the Sals.
1:20 to play. Salesianum with Smyrna having no timeout. Salesianum basically just needs to take a couple knees. I wonder if they'll even run a play here we'll see.
I would guess just from injury purposes, I would hope for their own benefit they just take a knee here.
And they're in victory formation, and so that's exactly what's going to happen here. Pusengaro is going to take the snap and take a knee. So Salesianum is going to move to 7-2 and improve their chances even more of a good playoff position. Their only losses were to Episcopal Academy, a 13-7 loss, and then the very next week to Middletown, 34-7, a game we did here on Fox Sports 1290.
And it sets up the rivalry game next week with St. Mark's, a St. Mark's team that's really been reeling the last several weeks. So Salesianum will go into that game as the prohibitive favorite, but with a lot of incentive to put St. Mark's away.
Yeah, they're always, that's a big game no matter what the situation of either school. And just when you think it looks like it should be a lopsided victory for Salesianum, St. Mark's might turn that into a game. 37 seconds left. Pusengaro takes a knee again, and the ref is making sure that he doesn't set the ball up until there's less than the needed time, so that I don't even think they're going to have to take another snap, and that's exactly what they're doing. It is under 25 to play. They've started the clock, and so there will be an exchange of handshakes by the teams that are on the field. The players that are not on the field are lining up at the 50-yard line, and that's going to do it from Smyrna. The final score, Salesianum 35, Smyrna 16. We'll be back with the iHeartRadio postgame show right after this.
His career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today.
Middletown, and Dover, and ask for free Casasa checking. That's AmericanSpirit.org.
Jack's Country Made Deli with 2 locations in Ellesmere and Milltown on Kirkwood Highway. Sink your teeth into Jack's delicious hot and cold subs, cheesesteaks, and wraps. Made with over 50 different fresh quality meats sliced to your preference. Try Jack's incredibly tasty turkey subs. They're perfect for lunch or dinner. Check out Jack's party platters and catering options for any event. Don't miss Italian Tuesdays or Steak and Thursdays for $4.99 subs and steaks. Jack's Country Made Deli in Ellesmere and Milltown. Jack'sCountryMadeDeli.com.
Crown Trophy, People's Plaza in Newark is your one-stop shop for trophies, plaques, medals, and so much more. Crown Trophy, People's Plaza is a proud supporter of the Fox Sports 1290 High School Game of the Week and provider of the Player of the Game Award. If it's trophies you need, Crown Trophy has them in every shape, style, and finish imaginable. Plus, home of the Delaware State Championship Trophy and Mini Trophy. Visit Crown Trophy in People's Plaza, Newark, or online at crowntrophy.com.
Welcome to the American Spirit Federal Credit Union postgame show on Fox Sports 1290. Ask for free Casasa checking at American Spirit in Newark, Middletown, and Dover.
Welcome back. Crosby Williams Stadium. Salesianum 35, Smyrna 16. That's your final. Salesianum scored the first 2 touchdowns and the final 3 with 2 Smyrna touchdowns squeezed in between. Kevin Ferry's got the scoring and started off with a 52-yard punt return for a touchdown to give the Sal's a 7-0 lead just 2 minutes into the game. A Wayne Knight fumble led to a 9-play, 44-yard drive capped by an Andrew Watkins 1-yard touchdown run and put the Sal's up 14-0 with 5:03 to play. It would be the first of 3 Watkins touchdowns runs. However, in the second quarter, it was all Smyrna, a 7-play, 21-yard drive and a 43-yard touchdown pass and catch. Devin Smith rumbled into the end zone 43 yards, and with 8:35 to play, Smyrna pulled within 14-8. 3 and out for the Sal's on the next play, and Aiden Sanchez, led a 10-play, 53-yard drive capped by a 5-yard touchdown by Wayne Knight. and a 2-yard conversion on the earthquake formation for the second time in a row, and Smyrna had a 16-14 lead at the half. It was all Sallies in the second half. Actually, I should say basically all Sallies in the fourth quarter, as their offense was on the field approximately 25% of the second half. Andrew Watkins had a 10-yard touchdown run to put them up 22-16 with 8:59 to play, and Smyrna got the ball back, but a Wayne Knight fumble, his second of the night, was returned 40 yards for a touchdown by Matt Scott, and a 28-16 lead with 7:26 to play. An interception by Sanchez, picked off by Johnson, and that set up Sallies for a 10-play, 52-yard drive capped by a 12-yard Andrew Watkins run, and that put them up 35-16. Smyrna's last chance was ruined by Rasheen Kalk, who intercepted the ball, and then it was 3 knees and done. So, Marty, a dominating performance, especially in the second half by Salesianum's offense, putting together a couple of drives that chewed up a lot of clock.
It really was. I mean, that is exactly what Salesianum and Bill DiNardo coach teams are built for second halves like that, where you just run the ball down a team's throat, you wear them down defensively, you keep them on the field for a long time, and you finish it off with touchdowns, which they did tonight. You know, Duffy got a chance at 2 field goals, which he wasn't able to convert. One he missed, and one that he never got off. But it seemed like the Sal's were in scoring position basically all night long. They were able to move the football at will, basically, except for what turns out to be an aberration of a second quarter where Smyrna just outplayed Salesianum wildly. They controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and they really gave Salesianum a lot to think about going into halftime. But coming out of halftime, the more experienced anyway, Sally's team, it's still fairly young itself, did a great job of getting back to what they do best, and they come away with what turns out to be a huge victory for them as they go into the rivalry game with St. Mark's next week. They still have something to play for. They're playing for playoff seeding. They may, depending upon what happens in other places, they still may be playing for the playoffs, period. But you'd have to think that they're going to be in at this point. They've had a very successful season, and boy, Andrew Watkins, anybody who's seen this kid play, he's the real deal. He did it last year for St. Mark's. He's doing it behind a bigger and better offensive line at Salesianum this year, and he's really been the lifeblood of this offense.
St. Mark's plays St. Elizabeth tomorrow, so not sure whether they'll be coming to that game off a win or a loss. That game will be played next Friday night at Baynard Stadium's kickoff of that is at 7 o'clock. Smyrna's going to close out their own season right here at Charles Williams Stadium against Polytech. It'll be senior night. They'll say goodbye to a lot of seniors. You know, a lot of guys who have been part of what will go down as one of the biggest 3 years in high school sports and any sport. Where Smyrna literally dominated the high school football scene, and so those seniors will get a well-deserved goodbye next week against Polytech. All right, when we come back, we'll announce the Crown Trophy Player of the Game and talk about our next game here on Fox Sports 1290. Once again, your final score, Salesianum 35, Smyrna 16. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.
Mark your calendars now for the 64th DFRC Blue Gold All-Star Football Game on June 22nd, 2019 at Delaware Stadium. Be a part of this Delaware tradition that works to celebrate the abilities of people living with intellectual challenges and enrich the lives of Delawareans with intellectual disabilities. Enjoy the game that brings together football players, cheerleaders, ambassadors, band members, and buddies from more than 50 Delaware high schools. It's so much more than one night and one game. Help support the DFRC Blue Gold All-Star Football Game today at dfrc.org.
The area's largest family-owned and operated pet store is proud to support football broadcasts on WDSD. Concord Pet Food and Supplies, with 29 locations, was started here in Delaware by Larry Mutzler 37 years ago. Experience the difference at Concord Pet. There